When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
School football's regular season winding down. The Week 8 about to kick off here at Crestman Field as the Bulldogs take on the Spartans of Wyoming Valley West. First meeting between these two schools back in 1967. That was the first year for the Wyoming Valley West jointure. The jointure made up of 7 different schools from the Wilkes-Barre area. Schools like Kingston and Plymouth and 40 Fort. And the school actually is located in Plymouth. Wyoming Valley West won that one. It's been a continuous series since 1985. As you mentioned earlier, the Spartans have had their way with the Bulldogs of late. Here's the starting lineup for Wyoming Valley West. Offensively, the tight end, number 88, Dylan Jockel. He is 6'1", 220, a senior. 6 receptions on the season for 74 yards. When they go to a double tight end, they will put in big Cortez Adams, number 99. 6'4", 270-pound senior. The left tackle is number 75, Dominic Aluni. 6'5", 330 pounds, a senior. Dave Wilby starts at left guard. He wears number 64. He is a 6'1", 220-pound junior. Connor Makovich, the younger brother of running back Sean Makovich, starts at center. Connor is 5'11", 210 pounds, a junior. The right guard is number 71, Brandon Steidinger, 5'11", 240, a senior. Chris Bleich is the starting right tackle. He's made a verbal commitment to UCLA. He is 6'6", 320 pounds, a senior. At a wide receiver, number 13, Darian Tyson. He's 6 foot, 170 pounds, a junior. He leads them in receptions with 22 catches, 287 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But he will also carry the football. We'll see him in jet sweeps. We'll see him sometimes at the tailback. 32 carries for 257 yards and 3 touchdowns. The quarterback is number 7, Rob Dwyer. He was a tight end a year ago. He's 6'2", listed at 210, looks bigger than that. He is a senior. Unfortunately for the Spartans, missed the first 3 games of this season, but when he returned, week 4 against Williamsport, he ran for 141 yards. He is the second leading rusher on this team, 362 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's thrown very sparingly, 14 for 26, 250 yards, a touchdown and no interceptions. The leading rusher and the 6th leading rusher in the Wyoming Valley Conference, Sean Makovich. He wears number 23, 6 foot, 190, a senior, coming off a great effort last week against Abington Heights. 213 yards and 3 touchdowns. On the season, 654 yards rushing and 6 scores. The fullback is number 40, Zach Davies. He's a 5'11", 180-pound senior. 261 yards rushing on the season and 9 touchdowns. And the flanker, number 14, Jake Blasky. 6'1", 170, a senior. 19 receptions on the season, second in catches, 370 yards and a touchdown. He's averaging over 19 yards a reception. That's the starting lineup. Offensively, for the Spartans, they average 30.4 points a game. Under head coach Pat Keating, they come in, though, with a record of 2-5. For Berwick, at the tight end, number 11, Joe Norris, 6'3", 185, a senior. 4 catches on the season for 33 yards. Ben Peck is the starting left tackle. He wears number 72, 6'3", 251, a junior. Tom Monaco is the left guard, 6'3", 284, a senior. Noah Craig starts at center. He's a sophomore. Noah wears number 79. He's 6 foot, 246 pounds. As we told you earlier, Mike Zaluko, an excellent sophomore right guard, out with illness. Chris Gross, a senior, takes his place. Chris, 6'2", 270 pounds. The right tackle, number 70, Chase Struther. He is 6'3", 294, a senior. In the receiving department for the Bulldogs, leading receiver is Damon Beckhorn. He'll be wearing number 3 tonight. He's a 6 foot, 181-pound senior. 18 receptions on the season for 223 yards and 3 touchdowns. Second leading receiver is Jared Watts, number 13, a 5'10", 167-pound senior with 17 receptions, 270 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The quarterback is Jared Marshman, the 6'1", 221-pound senior. Last week, 12 for 18 and passing, 168 yards and 3 touchdowns in his season debut. He suffered a severe ankle injury mid-July, had surgery, and just made it back last week and looked terrific in his debut. Leading rusher for this team is Evan Klinger. He wears number 8. He is a 5'10", 175-pound senior. on the season, 540 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. He's 8th in the Wyoming Valley Conference in rushing. When Berwick does employ a fullback, we'll see number 44, Joey Lynn. He's 5'11", 216, a junior. 14 carries on the season for 85 yards and a touchdown. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs of Berwick under Frank Sheptock in his second season as head coach. They come in with a record of 6-1. They are on top of the standings as far as District 2 Quad A is concerned, and hoping to finish as the top seed and get the home field advantage for as long as those district playoffs will hold the Bulldogs. Across the way, Wyoming Valley West has just made their appearance on the field. Spartans wearing their white jerseys, white pants, maroon helmets, maroon numerals, and trim. Homecoming here at Berwick. The festivities will be going on down on the field. Some of them before, some of them at halftime. And of course, next week, a very special week as well. And when Lake Lehman comes to town, it'll be senior night. Final regularly scheduled home game for the Bulldog seniors, who of course hope that they'll have a few more games here at Preston Field before this season ends. The Bulldogs just now make their way on this the near side of the field. Berwick tonight wearing the blue jerseys, white pants, white helmets, white numerals, and trim. We had a little bit of drizzle early, no precipitation right now. It should be a good night for high school football here on the artificial turf of Crestman Memorial Field. The Bulldogs against the Spartans. We'll be back with the keys to tonight's game with Andy Lickney. When we return, you're listening to Berwick Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Hogs Hollow Saloon is the place to get the area's most popular barbecue. All house smoked daily. Smoked pulled pork, ribs, beef brisket, jumbo wings, chicken, and more. Hogs Hollow Saloon is bringing entertainment back to the area 3 nights a week. National tribute bands, local bands, and Wednesday night open mics. Inside dining, outdoor dining on the deck, entertainment inside and out. Be sure to grab the area's original Orange Crush. Hogs Hollow Saloon, Route 93 between Berwick and Orangeville. Check them out on Facebook.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
Anderson Enterprises, located on the corner of 2nd Street and Oak Avenue in Berwick, has been serving Berwick and surrounding communities with heating oil since 1975. Anderson Enterprises provides home heating oil for residential and commercial customers at a low, affordable price. Anderson Enterprises, located on the corner of 2nd and Oak Street in Berwick. Call 570-752-3291. And keep warm this winter with Anderson Enterprises, proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs. And don't forget, they have dry ice as well.
Welch's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welch's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welch's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welch's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welch's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
When the music stops,
That's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptock. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Our national anthem is sung by the Berwick choral group, the Modernaires, prior to high school football tonight from Crispin Field. Bulldogs renewing their rivalry with the Spartans of Wyoming Valley West. Keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Now, keys, Jim, Berwick has to stop the Wyoming Valley West run. This is a power team. It has a lot of size. It has a tradition of a running game. And it's there, even though this team only has the 2 wins and 5 losses. A lot of people think that's a mystery. How's that possible with this type of running game? You mentioned their prowess offensively, 30 points a game, 219 yards rushing a game, 358 yards total offense a game. This is in the top 2 and 3 rankings in the 17 teams of the Wyoming Valley Conference. So this team can certainly score the points, and they can do it with run. They have the size. They have 2 tackles that tip the scales in the 320 to 330-pound region. They'll often put a 270-pounder in the backfield and run behind that. Quarterback's a runner, and Rob Dwyer, he goes 210 pounds. Sean Makovich, the running back's 190 power. So somehow, Berwick has to get in front, neutralize blockers, neutralize more blockers coming at them, and make tackles on big backs. That's going to be a challenge, but Berwick has the best run defense in the conference. It's 57 yards a game. They'll give up more than that in this one. But with their talent, with their athletes, they're going to have to try to neutralize the size using leverage. Frank Sheptock talks big on that. When you flip it around, I think Berwick's offense has to score, and then score some more. We mentioned this team gets over 30 points a game, so if they get their average, you got to be over that. Plus, the longer you have the ball offensively, the less time Valley West has the ball. How are they going to get it? Normally, I'm a proponent of the running game, but Valley West has great size. Berwick will run, but I think the weaknesses lie more in the secondary. Less experience back there, and with Berwick getting Marshman back at quarterback, his pinpoint accuracy is shown in the Pittston game with the tremendous weapons in Damon Beckhorn, Tegan Wilk, Jared Watts, Justin Robbins. Throw to the backs, throw to the tight ends. I think that's where Berwick's going to find the going easiest in this game, and I think Frank Sheptock will have that in his plan of attack. So the keys, Berwick, stop the run, and then score and keep on scoring to not allow this height-powered offense to in any way catch up.
Wyoming Valley West won the toss, deferred to the second half. Berwick will get the football. Bulldogs moving from our right to our left in this opening half. Jake Gertis, excellent senior place kicker, will kick it off. Evan Klinger, Tegan Wilk, Alex Parks back for Berwick. The 43rd meeting between these two schools is underway as the kick is high and deep, and Wilk back at the goal line to the 5, to the 10, and he will be hit and dropped over the 15 and about the 17-yard line. So a good kick by Gertis to start it off, and good coverage downfield by the Spartans.
Carson Canavan's the man who got down, bear hugged him and stopped him. But yes, a good deep kick and excellent coverage. We'll see what Berwick's offense can do.
Defensively for Wyoming Valley West, Sammy Solomon, top defensive end at 6'3", 280 pounds. Chris Bleich, Cortez Adams, Carson Caravan, the front 4. Inside linebackers, Brendan Woods and Zach Davies, a 3-year starter. Zach McDaniels and Sean Makovich outside. Secondary, Darian Tyson and Jake Lasky. Rob Dwyer is the safety.
6 two-way players on that defense.
1st and 10, Berwick from their own 18-yard line. The give is to Evan Klinger off the right side, and he's not getting much. Maybe a yard on the play.
They ran at Chris Bleich, and he showed he's up to the challenge. You're not going to move him at 6'6", 320. Division I prospect. He's a big-timer. He's been recognized by the big-time schools for the past 3 years. They ran right at him, and not much happening there.
They give him close to 2 to the 20. 2nd down and 8. Again, Marshman out of the gun, hands to Klinger, and he tries the middle of the Wyoming Valley West line, and maybe a yard on the play.
And the middle doesn't get better. It's a 4-man front, so inside Bleich is there as well, but so is Cortez Adams, 6'4", 270. Frank Sheptock mentioned this team is like going against an SEC line, and he's not far from it when you look at their sizes.
3rd down and 6 for Berwick. There's a slot to the left side. Marshman out of the gun. Klinger to his left. Jared Marshman looks to the sideline. for the play. Has the snap, and he rolls to his left. Stops, plants the feet, fires a bullet to Damon Beckhorn. And Beckhorn out of bounds. See if he has the first down. He's going to be very, very close.
And he got himself a little too close to the sideline. Marshman needed to deliver that a little bit sooner. He will get the chains, and that's big. Beckhorn wearing number 3 this evening rather than his typical 14. That jersey got torn in the last game, so forced into the number change.
First and 10, Bulldogs from their 28. 6 yards on the carry. I formation now, and Klinger gets the call, and this time some running room. Over the 30 to the 34, they had Joey Lynn in there in a fullback spot. And Klinger gets a good first down carry. They mark it just short of the 34. Give him 6, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, able to split those big tackles on the inside. Get a sort of a double team on Brendan Woods, the sophomore middle linebacker.
And now Beckhorn awaits the snap out of the Wildcat. Beckhorn fakes handoff, keeps the football, looks for room, has some over the 40 to the 45, still on his feet out near midfield. Damon Beckhorn with the big gain out of the Wildcat, took that direct snap from Noah Craig and picked up 16 yards for a Berwick first down.
Real nice. Did the little read, the fake on that look, and then took it up the middle. Able to weave just a little bit, one hole to the other hole, and split those big tackles.
Marshman back in there. They're coming on a blitz, but he gets the pass out quickly, but it goes through the hands of Tegan Wilk. We anticipate a lot of blitzing against Jared Marshman because of the injury and because of a lack of mobility, but that time Berwick had the right call. Just couldn't connect with Tegan Wilk at 2nd and 10 for midfield.
4 running plays to start the series also helps with that passing game. That'll neutralize some blitzes. You just don't know when they're going to pass.
Beckhorn comes in motion. He gets the handoff. Has some running room down the sideline, 40, 35. Makes a great cut to the 30 and forced out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. Damon Beckhorn lined up as a receiver to the right, comes in motion, takes the handoff from Jared Marshman, and picks up 24 yards.
Tegan Wilk gave him the kick out here on the near side, drove a man into the Berwick sideline. That allowed Beckhorn to turn it upfield and use his speed to get down the sideline for the big gain.
First and 10, Bulldogs at the Spartan 26. Beckhorn wide to the right, comes in motion to the left, flags down on the play. Marshman goes to Beckhorn, makes the catch in the end zone for a touchdown, but let's check the flag.
Thrown by the referee. He probably saw some movement right before the snap. Yeah, he's saying the snap wasn't clean, Coach. The quarterback's hands were in there moving a little bit too much as Earl Harris gestured that over to Frank Sheptock. I guess if anyone else could see the hands, it could induce them jumping. Everyone saw the flag quickly.
Earl Harris, the referee, the umpire, Jim Gordon. Al Williams is the linesman. The line judge is Chris Basic. John Parakovsky is the side judge, and Stan Zaneski is the field judge. Penalties have been an Achilles heel for the Bulldogs this season, as they have twice as many penalties as their opponents. First and 15 now. The call goes to Joey Lynn. Lynn off the right side, gets inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Being led up inside by J.J. Snyder. We saw this backfield unit work successfully a couple games ago. This time, long down and distance needed, and just a short gain of a couple of yards for Joey Lynn.
2 yards to the 29. It's 2nd down and 13. Now Evan Klinger and Owen Shoemaker, running backs, are on either side of Marshman. He gets a high snap. Back to throw. Nothing there. He's hit. The ball is loose, and Wyoming Valley West comes up with it. Zach Davies on the recovery.
He saw the rush coming, and he stepped off to his right, and he thought he avoided it. But a hand punched the ball that was hanging down by his side. Quarterback Jared Marshman doesn't have the agility or the ability to push off that injured leg, the one that's healed. But he doesn't have the mobility to get himself back and dive on that football. So an easy recovery on the fumble by Marshman.
Zach Davies with the recovery, and Wyoming Valley West has the football for the first time. And they have it at their own 43-yard line. 9:04 to go in this scoreless first quarter. Berwick defensively line up across the front with Joe Norris, Tom Monaco, J.J. Snyder, Jimmy LeGrand. As empty backfield for Dwyer, who keeps the football and gets outside. He gets a good yardage out to midfield. Tegan Wilk makes the stop. Tegan Wilk and Evan Klinger are the safeties. David Beckhorn, Alex Parks, and Ryan Lawball round out the secondary. Joey Lynn and Noah Craig are the linebackers. A gain was to the Berwick 49-yard line of 8 yards, 2nd down and 2.
There's no one in the backfield. One of the wingbacks came and gave a scissors look, but the quarterback kept it and kept running to the strong side. Saw some use of hands out there, but a lot of blocks and tough for people to get to that quarterback.
2nd and 2. Dwyer back to throw. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Tyson. Joe Norse left his defensive end position to go back in coverage. May have gotten a hand on it.
Very quick. Got the ball, took a step to his left with a semi-sprint look, and then put it out there to Darian Tyson. I'm not sure if the ball was flicked or if it just was misplayed by Tyson out there. Would have had the first down.
3rd down and 2. Spartans. Dwyer under center. Zach Davies very close to him as the running back. Tyson comes in motion. The call goes to Makovich up the middle, and he will not get the first down. Berwick swarms their leading rusher.
Jimmy LeGrand on the inside, who grabbed the hold and pulled back. He knew if he slammed into the man with the angle he had, he'd push him for a first down. So Jimmy LeGrand, rarely on the inside, gets there, grabs, and pulls back. We're going to see a 4th down play from scrimmage, or at least the lineup to try to induce an offsides.
And how many teams can bring in a blocker at 6'3", 280 pounds? But that is Sammy Solomon. Power eye to the right. Makovich gets the call, has the first down. Inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Ryan Lawball makes the stop for the Bulldogs. But tell you what, you can know what's coming and still have difficulty stopping it when there's all that beef in front of the running back.
Yeah, 2 H-backs lined up over the hole. Not just Sammy Solomon, who's 6'3", 280, but Cortez Adams, who's 6'4", 270. These aren't linemen. These guys are behind Bleish, the big lineman who goes 330.
Slot to the right, slot to the left. Dyer out of the gun. Gives to Tyson, coming around. Tyson is tripped up, but not before he gets to the Berwick 40-yard line. Darian Tyson listed as a wide receiver, but he carries the ball a lot for this team from a number of different angles. Picked up 6 there, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, a lot of different looks, a lot of different formations, a lot of people coming in a lot of different directions from those formations. Darian Tyson, that wide receiver, his 33rd carry of the year.
2nd down and 4. Wyoming Valley West on their first possession. They have the ball at the Berwick 38-yard line. The give straight ahead to Davies, the fullback, tries the right side, flags flies. Tom Monaco and others wrap him up about the line of scrimmage.
Boy, I really like the way that was in. Joe Norris cheating into the inside. We normally see him wide at defensive end. So a lot of different looks in this sort of defensive chess game that Frank Sheptalk is playing. He understood they wanted to go short yardage for the first down by the formation. He moved extra people inside to fight.
Face mask against Berwick. The mark-off, it's an incidental face mask, but it will give them the first down at the 33-yard line.
Penalties have often hurt Valley West. Here in this first quarter, penalties are hurting Berwick. Valley West has a wonderful drive going. Only the one pass attempt, and that one incomplete.
Carson Caravan, the running back to the left of Dwyer, who waits the shotgun snap, has it. He's going to keep it himself off that left side, tries to get outside, does turn the corner, and gets to the 29-yard line. He's a big guy, but he has some speed, too.
Deceptive speed. Evan Klinger was the first man who might have been able to trip him up for a loss. But Dwyer, who looks to be about 240, 250 pounds, I stepped away from that dive and made it into a 5-yard gain.
2nd down and 5. Wyoming Valley West with a good drive going in their first possession. No score in this opening quarter. 6.5 minutes to go. Dwyer stands up, looks to the sideline. Now he shifts into the shotgun formation. Has the snap, going to keep it himself off the left side. Has the first down and then some inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Rob Dwyer, the running quarterback, Mentioned he had 141 yards rushing in that victory over Williamsport. Picked up 9 there. 1st and 10 Spartans at the Bulldog 19.
Deegan Wilk has to make the tackle. When it comes to hat-on-hat, Valley West is getting the assignments, getting into their men, moving people. And when you run the quarterback, you have the extra blockers.
From the 19-yard line, Dwyer under center, gives to Makovich coming from a wing right, sweeping the left side. Berwick defends it very, very well. He gets a yard, maybe 2 on the play.
Yeah, the quarterback hands it off, and then he's out of the play. When he carries it, everybody on that team is able to block. You get more double teams, you get kick-outs at the point of attack. So you can see why they like Rob Dwyer's running from that quarterback position as much as they like the talents of Sean Makovich, the traditional tailback.
9th play of the drive. It started at the Wyoming Valley West 43-yard line after the fumble recovery by Zach Davies. It's now reached the Berwick 17. Dwyer fakes to Makovich, keeps the football, and he's wrapped up. Maybe a yard on the play. Great penetration by the Bulldogs. Getting across there was J.J. Snyder from his nose position. They mark it right at the 17, so it's going to be a 3rd down and 8.
Norris played it very well from defensive end as well. Kind of funneled things back into J.J. Snyder, so good team defense. 3rd and long, passing situation normally. Valley West, not a real good passing team.
Dwyer has the shotgun snap, fires a pass, it's batted down, incomplete.
Throwing to Jake Glasky. He actually initiated contact with the corner, tried to push him off, and then slant in. By the time he looked, the ball was going by him. So not real good timing on that. And will we see a field goal attempt, Jim? We'll see. Stoppage as a player is down.
Good coverage that time by Alex Parks. He's a terrific cover corner for these Bulldogs. And they are looking at a Spartan at the 14-yard line. Jake Gertis, will come on to attempt the field goal. He's hit 3 on the season. This is at the 17-yard line, so probably be around a 34-yard field goal attempt if they continue in that vein. It is 4th down and 8.
I think it's Blasky, the receiver, who's down. You mentioned the fine play by Alex Parks on him. Blasky's the man who initiated contact. Parks doesn't mind at all. He'll take that collision, gets him even closer to the player for defending. Field goal will be from the left hash, and you mentioned he has 3 field goals this year.
Jake Shesta, the backup quarterback, is the holder. 34-yard field goal attempt for the lead. His kick is up, and the kick is no good. No good, comes up short. So both teams with good drives on their first possessions, but nothing on the board with 4:37 to go in this first quarter.
Damon Beckhorn, wearing that number 3, came around the left side of the defense and really pressured the kick, going full extension. May have distracted the kicker a little bit. Close to blocking that one.
The Bulldogs get it for their 2nd time. That's some big plays from Damon Beckhorn in their first possession, a 16-yard run. And then a 24-yard run out of the Wildcats. But the fumble kept the Bulldogs off the board. They have it at their own 20-yard line. As they give it to Evan Klinger off the left. Klinger spins away from a tackle, gets over the 25 to the 27. Good first down carry by Evan Klinger, leading rusher for the Bulldogs.
Berwick likes to get by that first lane and then take on the linebackers with Evan Klinger, and they were able to do it there. Eventually, the defense pushed Benjamin Peck into Klinger to bring him down, but not until he got 7 yards.
2nd down and 3, Berwick. Slot to the right side. Marshman out of the pistol. Has the snap, fakes to Klinger, back to throw, fires, has Joe Norris wide open to midfield. To the 45, to the 40, the 35, the 30, caught from behind, inside the 30, near the 27-yard line. Jared Marshman with play action, and Joe Norris with a big play for the Bulldogs.
Really was. Jake Blasky, who had been injured in the previous series, makes the tackle from his cornerback spot. They took people deep, and Norris kind of went deep, but not as deep as the other receivers. Got it about 20 yards downfield, and then a very nice run afterwards.
45 yards on the pass to Joe Norris. 1st and 10 Bulldogs at the Wyoming Valley West 28-yard line.
Norris's 5th catch of the year, his longest.
I formation, slot to the left side. Joey Lynn is the fullback. The call goes to Klinger off the left side. Big hole for him. Inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line.
Zach Davies, the linebacker, going for a ride, grabbing him and riding his back. Not until they move the chains yet again with Klinger just off over left guard. Tom Monaco giving the key block.
10 yards on the carry. 1st and 10, Berwick from the 18. The call goes to Klinger again off the left side. To 10, the 5. He goes in for a touchdown. Again, that Berwick offensive line opened a gaping hole. Evan Klinger from 18 yards out, and Berwick has the lead.
Ben Peck, Tom Monaco, Noah Craig, the center. They targeted Monaco and Peck slanting on down. Really wasn't a whole lot of defensive effort. 2-hand touch, he was in, maybe even in 1-hand touch, as the blocking was really there to open the C gap for Evan Klinger on the tough run.
Ken Marshall will attempt the extra point. Jake Lanning does the long snapping now, the freshman, in place of the injured Alex Force. Marshman has missed only one on the season. This one is up, and this one is good. Time on the season. 3:21 to go. Opening quarter. Berwick 7. Wyoming Valley West nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 60 years of service, can handle all of your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete and lightweight block. They have front-end discharge trucks for ready-mix concrete. Riverview Block also carries all masonry supplies, sand and gravel. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block 752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
When the music stops,
That's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
6th rushing touchdown of the season for Evan Klinger as Berwick on their second possession goes 4 plays, 80 yards. Big play, that 45-yard pass completion, Jared Marshman and Joe Norris. 7-0 Bulldogs. Ken Marshman will kick it off. He has 15 touchbacks on the season. This kick will take the returner back to the goal line. Return to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and good coverage downfield by the Bulldogs to the 23-yard line. Spartans will put it in play. Sean Makovich on the return. And Wyoming Valley West gets it for the second time. They moved the ball well on the ground in their first time, but had to settle for a field goal attempt that was no good.
And then Berwick got the ball, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden the running game, you would think with sort of a David and Goliath size mismatch that Valley West would be able to squelch a running game. But Berwick getting low, getting the leverage, using technique, making seams on the inside. That one bursts out just a little bit wider, and untouched, Evan Klinger takes it in.
I formation behind Rob Dwyer. He gives to Davies and over the 30 to the 33-yard line. That time Makovich was the fullback, and Zach Davies moved to the tailback position, and a good run by him on first down.
Most certainly was. Frank Sheptalk's concerned with the C gap, the tackle-tight end gap against these big tackles and tight ends. And one of those big tackles, Bleish, is heading on out, needs to be replaced. I'm not sure if they stopped for an equipment problem or maybe some blood. But he had the key block on that from Makovich to get his 10, 11 yards.
10 yards for Makovich, 1st and 10 Spartans at their own 33-yard line. They move from our left to our right in this opening period. Dwyer under center. Gives to Makovich off the left side. Good burst by him. Gets out to the 40-yard line.
Noah Craig tripping him up, or he would have had a lot more. Craig building into a hole that got pretty big. He sprawled on the ground, grabs the toe, and then Makovich able to fall forward and make it a 9-yard gain.
Second down call coming. Ball at the 41-yard line. Slot to the left side. I formation, Makovich ahead of Davies. Dwyer shows option look, pitches the ball to Davies. Zach Davies has the first down as he gets out to the 45, perhaps the 46-yard line.
Nice little action. This team has a lot of different formations and a lot of looks out of all of those formations. Berwick has to keep their eyes open. And of course, despite all the strategy and despite all the different looks and designs to plays, when it comes down to man-on-man, Valley West is going to have a weight advantage and a strength advantage on most plays anyway.
Chris Fleisch is back in there at the right tackle position. 1st and 10, Spartans at their own 47. Tyson in motion. Dwyer back to throw. Big pass rush. Gets away from one man. Gets away from another. Turns the corner at the Berwick 45, the 40, and finally driven out of bounds, and flags fly. So he will get a big gain, and there'll be 15 tacked onto this.
Jimmy LeGrand coming from the backside, a tremendous angle, and people were slowing him down, but then he had the sideline when LeGrand finally runs him out of bounds, and then a safety or corner from behind that wants to assure he's out, puts a very late hit on. So, yeah, nice running. That quarterback does not go down easily. Dwyer's listed at 6'2", 210, but looks considerably bigger than that.
The ball will be at the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs. So an 18-yard run by Dwyer, and then a 15 tacked on, and it's a 1st and 10 for the Spartans, trailing Berwick 7-0, 1:45 to go in the opening quarter. From the Bulldog 20, Dwyer out of the gun, has the snap. He's going to run with the football off the left side, has some running room, has the first down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Wyoming Valley West.
I'm surprised there aren't backs in front, in behind the quarterback if they go shotgun and no one there. But if you're going to go with a student body quarterback run, let them all out front closer to their blocks, and that's what they did, going to the left to the short side. They got in front, made the blocks, and Dyer maximizes the run to move the chains once more.
11 yards on the carry by Rob Dwyer. 1st and goal, Wyoming Valley West at the Berwick 9-yard line. Makovich on a wing to the right. Goes in motion to the left. Dwyer under center. Gives the ball to Davies. He tries the left side, then cuts it inside, and second effort will get him to maybe the 6-yard line.
Physical play. Berwick trying as hard as they can, often chasing things from the backside with defensive ends. Getting quick rushes behind the play, trying to grab the runner before he can find the lane. Boy, straight ahead, it's tough to get in between the blockers.
2nd and goal, Wyoming Valley West, as we have a timeout called by Berwick. 54 seconds to go in the opening quarter. 7-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Berwick Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Ryan, technician with Safe Light Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. With Safe Light, you get more. Every windshield we replace is backed by a national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Plus, SafeLight has more glass in stock than anyone, so we can get to you faster.
Just tell your insurance company you want SafeLight, or call us at 1-800-800-2727, or go to safelight.com.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
54 seconds remaining in the opening quarter here at Crispin Field. Berwick leads Wyoming Valley West 7-0, but the Spartans just 5 yards away from a tying score as they face a 2nd and goal at the Berwick 5.
Massive offensive linemen, big backs, all getting into their men on the blocks. Quarterback by his lonesome again. Watch for him running.
Slot to the right side. And now the Spartans will use the timeout. We'll keep it right here as they had 2 blocking backs to the right, 2 receivers to the right.
I think what happened is the quarterback had called a certain play, looked at the formation, and it didn't match the play. There was no one to give the ball to, or the blocker wasn't where they expected. And when you're on the 5-yard line, you certainly don't want to mess up a scoring opportunity on a blown play or have the potential for the fumble. He could have opted to audible that. He had the full 25-second clock. Even just yelling over to the blocking backs on the right, hey, guys, I'm coming your way, and do it. Yeah, they're big, they're strong. They have a power type of set in there. I think you're going to see Rob Dwyer, the quarterback, just find the hole that's going to be best suited for him. They'll call it by design, put the linemen they like, and put those blocking backs where they want them. But right now, I think he's the weapon. It gives an additional blocker in there where the quarterback's often wasted after a handoff if the quarterback himself can be the ball carrier.
Following their timeout, Wyoming Valley West, 2nd and goal at the Berwick 5-yard line. Spartans move from our left to our right in this opening quarter. Slot to the right. Man in motion, high snap. Dwyer keeps the football off the left side, headed for the end zone. Rob Dwyer stood up near the end zone, pushed from behind. No indication from the officials. Berwick indicates they have the ball.
And they do. Damon Beckhorn coming up with it. Jim, they were going to let them push. It got to a rugby situation, but the forward progress wasn't completely stopped. So they figured this man is stood up at the half-yard line. If they can push him in, it's a touchdown. If they can push him back, that's fine too. So they let it go. They didn't whistle it dead. And while the quarterback stood up, Damon Beckhorn or somebody either strips the ball away or takes it out of his hand. In any case, before the whistle, Damon Beckhorn's on the ground with the football, and that is a huge stop for Berwick.
So both quarterbacks have given up the football via the fumble, but this one is big because it stopped at the 1-yard line.
Chase Struthers getting up. He was down on the field after that scrum. He was sort of on the bottom of a pile of about 7 or 8 men as they were fighting for the end zone.
Check that number. I don't think it's Struthers.
Thought it was 70. 70, those numbers. Could be 72, Jim. Their numbers are very hard to read. Ben Peck. Yeah, I don't like the font on these jerseys. I've told the players, get numbers like 11. Those are easy.
Well, it's interesting. Ben Peck turned around and came back in there. I didn't think he could do that.
Yeah, he's not allowed to do that. No one noticed.
1st and 10, Berwick at their own 1-yard line.
I wonder if Earl Harris noticed it now.
Well, Berwick is going to use the timeout.
So then they can bring him in.
43 seconds remaining. Opening quarter. Berwick leads 7-0. You're listening to Bulldogs football and Classic Rock 103.5.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Crespin Field in Berwick. 43 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Berwick leading Wyoming Valley West 7-0. Moments ago, Wyoming Valley West quarterback Rob Dwyer fumbling the football at the Berwick 1-yard line. Damon Beckhorn with the recovery for the Bulldogs, so they have it at the 1. As a quarterback keeper straight ahead by Jared Marshman gets a nice push and gets out near the 5.
The Berwick helmet goes flying as well. And it is Marshman. Now, Jim, players have to come out if they lose a helmet. Well,
and he is coming to the sideline.
In the college game they do. Alex Force is not going to play the rest of the year. They've scheduled him for surgery. Or are we at a point where Lawbaugh has to come in? Or are we at a point where Berwick takes another timeout?
They would be out of timeouts if that's the case. Frank Sheptalk, though, talking to sophomore quarterback Ryan Lawbaugh. He will come on and take this snap.
And we mentioned Zaluto out for the game. Illness keeping him out.
So 2nd and 6 for Berwick at their 5-yard line. Lawbaugh under center. I formation behind him. The tailback, Klinger, in the end zone, takes the handoff, tries the left side, and not much doing. He gets maybe a yard to the 6. Sean Makovich coming up quickly among the people in on the play for the Spartans on what will be the final play of this opening quarter. with the score, Berwick 7, Wyoming Valley West nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing. Specializing in metal and rubber shingles, most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Reds Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
Berwick Bulldog football.
In the second quarter, Southern Columbia leads Danville 10-3. South Williamsport and Central Columbia are scoreless, and Lake Lehman leads Holy Redeemer 13-0 in the second. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
One quarter in the books here at Crispin Field. Bulldogs leading Wyoming Valley West by a score of 7-0. But as this second quarter begins, tough situation for Berwick. They're back at their 6-yard line, and they'll face a 3rd down and 5. Jared Marshman, who has his helmet come off, had to sit out that last play of the opening quarter, but he will be back in there. But will the Bulldogs go to the air from this point?
Well, they can, Jim. You don't want to take too deep of a drop. You don't want to be threatened with a safety. He had a little trouble. He's often very cool in the pocket. Might have been a little too nonchalant last time, holding the ball down by his side as they did have the fumble. Going to be tough to run against this defense and get the 6 yards or so that they need. I would anticipate a pass, probably a quick hitter.
3rd and 5, Berwick from their own 6. Bulldogs move from our left to our right in this second quarter. Marshman out of the gun, standing right about the goal line, awaiting the snap from Noah Craig. And he looks to the sideline. Perhaps a play change. Has the snap. Back to throw. Looking. Fires long downfield for Keegan Wilk. Makes the catch. No, he dropped it. He dropped it at the 38-yard line. A beautiful pass by Jared Marshman.
Under duress. He realized they wanted to go 3 steps and throw, and they could not. And we have an injured player down there, Jim. I believe it's one of the linemen holding his knee, so we'll have a stoppage, a Berwick lineman. He threw it sort of at the last second before he was going to take a hit, and he was in danger of the safety. But he realized I can just kind of heave this deep downfield out of the corner of his eye. He saw that his man had the step. But Wilk had to kind of slow down just a little to kind of come back for the ball and wanted to get going before the defender could catch up with him. In trying to do all that, he went kind of without securing the ball well. Otherwise, Berwick would have had about a 40-yard gain on that, a new set of downs.
What a terrific pass, though.
Yeah.
By Marshman. You mentioned under duress.
Christopher Gross is the injured player, Jim, and he's filling in for the illness that's put Mike Salutko out. So we'll have to keep an eye on who's going to be at left guard now for the Bulldogs. Here in the punting situation, we won't get a true look at it.
Alex Sarkuski will come in to do the punting for the Bulldogs. Sarkuski standing 8 yards deep. So Wyoming Valley West figures to get great field position. Darian Tyson, Sean Makovich deep. Jake Lanning, the 9th grader, will be doing the long snapping for the Bulldogs.
Uncovered, makes it a little easier.
Snap a little bit low, but Sarkuski has the ball blocked, and a scramble for the football in the end zone. It's still loose. The official's looking at it over in the corner, and it will be a safety as Berwick was able to get on the football.
Brendan Wood was the man who came in hard for Valley West, number 42. Got the hands up. I thought he had enough time to get that off, Jim, but a great extension by Brendan Wood. Caught it in the hand. It bounced near the goal, and then people pumping into the ball knock it into the end zone. If Valley West recovers, it's a touchdown for them. So Berwick fortunate to come up with that, even though they give up 2 points. They'll be free kicking from the 20-yard line.
Big play by the Spartans on special teams. Boy, it's a game of inches. Just moments after Marshman appeared to complete a pass that would have gotten Berwick out past the 40-yard line. The Bulldogs forced a punt. The punt is blocked. Results in a safety. It's a 7-2 Berwick lead with 11:41 remaining here in the first half of play.
Yeah, it was just an outstanding effort. Good fight by Brendan Woods. Plays one of the inside linebackers on this team, just a sophomore. It came hard. Now, Berwick has the option of punting this, and many people put their punter out to get it high in the air, get the coverage down, and have no return. You can run with that punter with no interference.
If this is a touchback, I'll be really impressed by Ken Marshman.
It would have to go 80 yards from the 20. With Marshman's skill, though, you don't use the punter. Here you use his kicking leg.
Makovich and Tyson deep for Wyoming Valley West. Kick very, very high and deep in Makovich at the 25-yard line. To the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, to midfield, and then to the Berwick 45-yard line. Sean Makovich with a good return, and the Spartans in business with a chance to take the lead early here in the second. 11:34 to go before halftime. 7-2 is the Berwick lead.
Jared Groshek submarining the pile as it got to him. It's a little too much on that return, and that gives some momentum to Valley West. The block punt gives them momentum, and now the fine return gives them even a little bit more. They've been driving the ball. It was their own fumble at the goal line that stopped their scoring threat last time.
30 yards of that return by Sean Makovich. 1st and 10, Wyoming Valley West of the Berwick 45. They give us to Tyson. He's going to sweep the right side. He's inside the 40. He is down to the 35-yard line. Close to a first down.
Boy, this team gashes you, Jim, and you just don't know where it's going to come from. Tyson at wide receiver taking that jet sweep wonderfully. Will it be Makovich on standard plays from the backfield? Will it be scissor looks with Zach Davies, or will it be the quarterback Rob Dwyer? A lot of weapons from a lot of different directions. You got to play the base, get the read.
2nd down and 1. Power I to the right side. As Dwyer keeps the football, hit behind the line, but he breaks through and gets yardage down that far side, then inside the 30, down to the 20-yard line. And a flag down well after the play.
With Valley West cheering, and you expect a late hit or a hit out of bounds. Sammy Solomon was play side at the line of scrimmage, and he just buried somebody. He's 6'3", 280 pounds, Jim, and you mentioned he's not playing it as a lineman. He's often playing it in the backfield with a little head of steam. That gave them the corner, and they know how to run that corner.
15 yards on the carry by Dwyer. Personal foul against Berwick. Half the distance, Wyoming Valley West. 1st and goal at the Berwick 10.
Boo's on this side of the field, but the play was on the far side. I don't know how anyone could see it. That let the officials know that the fans are watching. I couldn't see any infraction. It's just too far away.
1st and goal to 10. Power I to the right side. Lots of beef leading the way as the call goes to Davies off that right side, but Berwick stacks it up right about the line of scrimmage.
They want to come up a little bit more aggressively once they do free up, because these running backs themselves have power. They can put the shoulder down and drive. But they did shed the blockers in the C-gap on the right side that time.
2nd and goal at the 9. 1 yard on the carry by Zach Davies. Clock running with 10:25 to go in the opening half. Berwick with a 7-2 lead, but Wyoming Valley West 9 yards away from the lead.
Anticipate run. They've only thrown 2 passes, both incomplete.
3 receivers to the left. As the call goes to quarterback Dwyer, and he's inside the 5. There is a flag down the play. Dwyer out of shotgun. Took the snap. They had Tyson coming across for a window dressing, get some attention. Then Dwyer went straight ahead, got close to the goal line, but let's check the flag.
Tegan Wilk, as a safety, often is unblocked. He's reading things very, very quickly coming up. Would have tripped him up after about a 5-yard gain, but then he tripped forward, so it would have been significant yardage. An illegal shift is the call, and that'll move Valley West back.
2nd and goal, Spartans at the Berwick 14-yard line.
Gets a little harder for a team that wants to run it in. Do they take the risk and go with play-action pass? We'll see. Dwyer at 54% on the year, only 14 of 26.
Under center is Rob Dwyer. Straight drop back to throw, fires over the middle, the ball's incomplete.
Kevin Klinger had great coverage on a man slanting from left to right. The ball almost hit him in the back. So Dwyer now 0 for 3 as they set up the 3rd and 13, and now you're saying, is there a running play you want to attempt in this situation? It's not good. They were up there close. They had good down and distance. Penalty killed them. And the incomplete pass. They're going to take a stoppage and think about it, Jim.
9:41 to go in the half. Berwick leads Wyoming Valley West 7-2. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels in Berwick is a dream getaway for your dog when you are away. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels offers on-site grooming, 19 air-conditioned kennels, and a fenced-in area for your dog to play. At Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels, there are no restrictions on size or weight of your dog. The only thing they ask is that all dogs have proof of updated vaccines, including kennel cough. Call 570-759-8181 to schedule your dog's dream vacation today. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
When the music stops,
That's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
9:41 to go in the opening half. Big calls coming. Wyoming Valley West following their timeout. 3rd down and 13, but the ball is at the Berwick 14-yard line. Bulldogs lead the Spartans by a score of 7-2.
Frank Sheptalk probably talking to the defense about watching reverses. I don't think they're that worried about the passing plays. They can cover it.
Dwyer has the snap, back to throw, fires, lobs it to the end zone into traffic, and the ball is caught for a touchdown. What a terrific catch on the far side. Darian Tyson makes the grab for the score, and the Spartans take the lead. He was surrounded by Bulldogs.
He had one on each side of him, Jim, but he knew the route and he knew the ball was coming. He has the height to go on up and make the play at 6 foot, and he has great jumping ability. Located the ball, went high, caught it at the highest point, and made a wonderful catch for a big score for his team.
So the Spartans have their first lead of the night, 8-7. Now the numbers would say you go for 2 here, and that's what they're going to do. Dwyer out of the gun, has the snap, keeps the football, cut down. Damon Beckhorn with a good play, getting him low to prevent the 2-point conversion. Tied out of the field, 9:35 to go, opening half. Wyoming Valley West 8 and Berwick 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Being in business for over 100 years really means something. It means you've been putting out an excellent product and taking care of your customers so they want to come back. Daylo's Bakery, Berwick falls into that special group of businesses. Oven fresh pizza, bread and rolls. Order extra pizza for a fast dinner when the party arrives. Open 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Visit Daylo's Bakery at 1201 Fries Avenue, Berwick, or call 752-4519.
When the music stops,
That's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Wyoming Valley West has their first lead of the night, 8-7, on a 3rd and 13 call following a timeout. Rob Dwyer appeared to throw it up for grabs into the end zone, but Darian Tyson went up high, made a terrific catch for the score. The run for the 2-point conversion failed, but the Spartans have an 8-7 lead with 9:35 to go in this half.
Takes quite an athletic move to be able to go up and out-jump Berwick defenders, but he was able to.
Jake Gertis's kick is the line drive. Evan Klinger back at the Berwick 7-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45. Down the right sideline, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. He's in for a touchdown. Evan Klinger, 93 yards for Berwick to regain the lead.
He found the seam and knocked the blocking at about the 20-25-yard line. Then there was the kicker. He made one move in and then broke out, and the kicker fell down. The last speedster on the far side to have an angle was Suleiman Ishmael. but he was able to outrun him to the 5-yard line by the time Ishmael was able to touch him. He wasn't going to stop Evan Klinger's momentum. So Berwick responds immediately to the Valley West touchdown with a touchdown of their own on the kick return.
Now the numbers here might say you go for 2. It's 13-8. I think Berwick will go for that sure point with Ken Marshman.
Yeah, I need a card, and I don't think this is going to be all the scoring in the course of this game. So they are lining up with the kicker.
What a job by Evan Klinger. He's been terrific on kick returns this year, but that is his first touchdown. Good kickoff. There's an injured player on the field. It's Deion Davis, a senior for Wyoming Valley West. He's on his feet and walking to the sideline with some help. Klinger will do the holding following his heroics.
Give him a chance to catch his breath a little bit.
Boy, that comes at a big time for Berwick. Wyoming Valley West had just taken the lead. Momentum going their way. Bulldogs trying to figure out what to do with the right guard position with the starter ill and his sub on the sideline hurt, and special teams come up big. Ken Marshman to attempt the extra point. Snap, placement, kick is up, kick is good. Time on the field. 9:22 to go first half. Berwick 14, Wyoming Valley West 8. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
We've had an interesting second quarter to this point. Wyoming Valley West with a blocked punt for a safety, then a touchdown pass to take the lead, and then a touchdown run on the kick return by Evan Klinger. Berwick leads at 14-8. Marshman with his 16th touchback of the season, and he boots it 4 yards deep where Makovic takes the lead.
That kicker is a weapon, Jim. He almost had the last one blocked. Came in a little low, took the holder a little bit time to get it straight. And a man rushing very hard from the side pressured Marshman on the PAT. But he just stayed true with his timing and blasted it through for the point.
The Spartans will get the football at their own 20-yard line. They move from our right to our left in this second quarter. They now trail Berwick by a score of 14-8. Rob Dwyer, the quarterback, got under center and then walked away, and they want to talk about it. This will be their final timeout with still 9:22 to go in the half. Berwick 14, Wyoming Valley West 8. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Wyoming Valley West following their final time out of the half with the football at their own 20-yard line. Empty backfield for Dwyer, who gives the ball to Makovic coming from a wing left. And Sean Makovic is brought down after a short gain. He tried the right side. He got about 3 to the 23-yard line. 9:10 remaining in the half. Clock running. Berwick leading Wyoming Valley West by a score of 14-8.
A lot of formation, a lot of movement. Sort of a scissors type of action. H-back, reverse, if you want to call it that. And Berwick coming up and getting a defensive win, holding it to 3 yards.
Second down and 7. Deion Davis, who has injured moments ago. Back in there, he's wide to the left. Man comes in motion. Dwyer fakes, keeps the football. Flags flies. He's brought down at about the 28-yard line.
Evan Klinger got low near the knee and really upended him, somersaulted him. But a little too much in that initial seam as it get about 6 yards or so on this. But
coming back
with movement. Earl Harris, seeing it from his referee position, will march it off the 5 yards.
And I'm sure people listening that heard Wyoming Valley West record at 2-5 thought maybe we're trying to hype this a little too much. But this is a talented football team.
This is a big, powerful football team. It's a team that has good schemes offensively. Defensively, I don't know if we've seen enough to really be able to make a judgment. They certainly have the talent out there.
Dwyer out of the gun, has the snap, back to throw, looking, going to keep the football. Rolling to his left, trying to get to the sideline. He'll be brought down, flags on the play, back at the 13-yard line. Jimmy LeGrand making the play on Rob Dwyer.
Reversing his field, he kept trying to turn it up, and he'd get by one man, and another Berwick player would come, and he'd kind of get wide of that. Going horizontally, not up and down the field. Eventually, that usually induces a hold behind the play. That's what it will be. Now, Berwick could very well just decline this. I believe there was a significant loss on the play, even a few yards. It's still going to set up a lot.
If they will decline, it'll bring up 3rd and 17 for Wyoming Valley West, back at their own 13-yard line.
And played very, very well by Berwick, taking all the cutback lanes away as the quarterback reverses field.
3 receivers to the left. As Dwyer looks to the sideline for the play call. Senior quarterback out of the gun. Empty backfield. Has the snap, flag flies the play. He is reversing his field, and David Beckhorn tackles him way back at the 2-yard line.
Flat, most likely an offensive penalty is thrown by the referee. So that, I guess you could call it a sack. It's certainly a tackle for a loss with significant yardage, even though I think the quarterback was planning run all the way. Berwick in great position with David Beckhorn's superior play. And now they're going to be punting with very little room, not the typical 15 yards, but the punter will basically have 11. He'll have to hurry to get it off.
Brendan Woods does the long snapping. Jake Blasky, out as deep as he can be in his own team's end zone, to punt it away for the Spartans. Snap is a good one. Kick is away, and a nice kick. Over the shoulder grab at the 48-yard line by Tegan Wilk. Wilk looks for blocking as he comes to the near side. He's at the 40, cuts through a defender, hit hard, fumbles the football. Scramble is on the 39-yard line. Evan Klinger may have saved the day for the Bulldogs.
They're indicating it's Berwick's ball, and I say Evan Klinger, as you did as well. He slowed down as blocks develop, and he got pinned in. And as he's stopping, the ball gets punched out of his hand. But Evan Klinger on the backside sees it, as well as some other Berwick players. They dive for it. Valley West had players in the area as well, but I think Evan Klinger just wanted it a little bit more.
And looking out there at the Berwick offensive line, it looks like number 60, Sullivan Slabieski, 6'1", 192-pound sophomore, is in at the right guard spot. As a quick out by Marshman, the ball is dropped by David Beckhorn.
Quick little now pattern. Threw it to him right there at the line of scrimmage. It was low at the knees. He wanted to look up and see which way to break. Took his eye off the ball and let it slide down to the ground.
2nd and 10, Berwick at the Wyoming Valley West 39. 7:11 remaining in this opening half. Berwick leads Wyoming Valley West 14-8.
Very tight splits in the line.
Owen Shoemaker gets his first carry. He's hit behind the line, breaks free, and gets what he can. It's a yard or two. Great penetration that time by 280-pounder Sammy Solomon. But Shoemaker able to get out of his grasp and pick up what he could. It's just a yard to the 38. 3rd down and 9, Berwick.
Got a good start to this series. A dropped pass, and then a play that basically had no blocking to develop. Most likely Marshman will be sent in a passing play. 3 receivers to the left.
And 1 to the right. That's Tegan Wilk. 3rd and 9. Marshman out of the gun. They're showing blitz. He pauses, looks to the sideline, and it's going to be too much time. Part of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and they didn't seem too upset about that. They didn't like the matchups they had. They didn't like the particular play against the particular defense. Tried to audible. That wasn't the way to go, so they just let the clock run out, saving their one precious timeout.
So it'll be 3rd and 14 for Berwick at the Wyoming Valley West 43-yard line. Trips to the left side, Wilk wide right. Marshman out of the gun with Shoemaker to his right. Has the snap, back to throw. Has time, fires over the middle, has his man, Jared Watts, down to the 28-yard line. It will be a Berwick first down. They needed 14, they got 15. A bullet from Marshman to Jared Watts.
Jared Watts has been a big-time receiver, his 18th catch of the year. Knew where he had to get to have the chains, had to cross that 25-yard line, and got it right in that area.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. Trips to the right side. Wide receiver left. Shoemaker.
Nope. Quarterback.
It's Marshman on the fake, and Marshman ahead for 7 yards to the 21-yard line.
Did not think we'd see him being a willing victim of collisions on the part of the coaches. We know he himself doesn't mind it. Seemed a little inflexible on the one play where he fumbled, but he knows that the straight-ahead type of running, the heft body, the upper body strength, he can take those type of shots, and he gave one.
2nd and 3, I formation. Joey Lynn is the fullback ahead of Shoemaker, who gets the call off the left side. He has the first down, then from inside the 10 and into the end zone for a touchdown. Owen Shoemaker, 21 yards for the score.
Explosive. Ran the left side. Ben Beck, Tom Monaco, able to collapse that side. He gets wide of them. One man grabs him. He breaks away from that hand-on to Jersey, and then it seems to almost spring him into another gear. He showed great speed, and you knew no one was going to catch him at that point.
Owen Shoemaker, the junior, with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season from 21 yards out. And now Ken Marshman will attempt the extra point. His kick is up, and his kick is good. Time on the field. 5:25 to go, opening half. Berwick, 21. Wyoming Valley West, 8. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They're more than a bank. They're your neighbors. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Berwick goes 5 plays, 39 yards. Owen Shoemaker in from 21 yards out for the touchdown. Ken Marshman will kick off following his extra point. And the officials whistle, blow dead. Perhaps someone offside the part of Berwick. The big play, though, on that possession, obviously the 3rd and 14 pass completion from Jared Marshman to Jared Watts of 15 yards.
Wonderful design. People took people wide and deep. Watts, sort of as a slot receiver, was working his way on a short post or a curl pattern at about 15 to 17 yards, just enough to get it. Marshman, with fine protection, rifles it there, catches it right there at the belt, goes down to the ground knowing he had the chains. It was a beautiful passing play.
Marshman will now kick it off in the 35-yard line.
Tougher for the touchback now, Jimmy.
And some good return men deep for the Spartans. Kick high and deep and right to the goal line. It's Makovich to the 10, to the 15, and brought down at the 25-yard line. Ken Marshman is amazing. Even after the 5-yard penalty, He gets that kick to the goal line.
Freshman Blaine Cleaver down there with a good form tackle, wrapping both arms and twisting him down to the ground. You're right, an amazing kick after the 5-yard penalty to still put it to the goal line and threaten with the touchback.
1st and 10 for Wyoming Valley West. They have it at their own 25-yard line. 5:20 to go first half. Berwick 21 and Wyoming Valley West 8. Dwyer out of the gun. 2 protectors to his left as he keeps the football, trying to get outside left. Deckhorn is right there with a form tackle at the line of scrimmage. They get 5 yards back for that line of scrimmage to the 20-yard line.
He squared up, challenged the quarterback, take it to the sideline if you can. I have the speed to get you. Cut inside if you can. I have the speed to get you there. So runs him down in the backfield for the 5-yard loss, squares him up, and then puts him down.
2nd and 15. Wyoming Valley West from their own 20-yard line. Offset I behind the quarterback, Rob Dwyer. Option look to the right. He pitches it behind the running back, who finally picks it up and is buried at the 10-yard line.
Somewhat unforced, unless you're saying defense is just kind of getting to you with intimidation. They're going away from Beckhorn's side, going to their right. Very quick pitch on the option. No threat of quarterback run. Not enough distance between the pitchman and the quarterback. Too hot to handle, and they'll suffer another major loss.
8 yards on that loss. 3rd and 23. Spartans from their own 12-yard line. Offset I behind Dwyer. Gives the ball to Makovich. Tries the right side. Tom Monaco wraps it up right about the line of scrimmage. And the punt team on for Wyoming Valley West.
Monaco there. Joe Lynn also in the area, playing it very aggressively. And Berwick has had success on its specialty teams. They've had a kickoff return. Now they're going to set up for a nice punt return, hoping for similar results.
Keegan Wilk and Evan Klinger deep for the Bulldogs, anticipating this punt from Jake Blasky, standing back at the 2-yard line. Brendan Woods does the long snapping. It's a good snap, and the kick is away by Blasky. Nice kick. Keegan Wilk on the run at the 45, down that far sideline, ridden out of bounds around the 30-yard line. So good return by Wilk, and Berwick in business with 3:15 remaining in the half, and the Bulldogs lead this one 21-8.
Blasky kicked to the sideline to eliminate the return, but it's not going to go out. He catches it about 2 yards shy, has some movement forward, and just keeps on going. So he uses that sideline and the momentum, despite the accurate kick, to keep it away from him.
So Berwick, trying to add to their lead, takes over at the Spartan 30-yard line.
We're still seeing number 60 in there, Jim Sullivan-Slabinski at left guard. Probably is for the rest of the game.
Damon Beckhorn wide to the left side. I formation behind Jared Marshman. Joey Lynn is the fullback ahead of Evan Klinger, the tailback. A fake to Klinger. Back to throw Marshman. Looking for Watts just off his fingertips about the 1-yard line. Berwick came within a whisker of all of it from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, nice little play action. In fact, Slabinski was pulling. Pick up the end man on the far left. Headed downfield dangerously, maybe even a little too far, but not enough to draw a flag for a lineman downfield.
2nd down and 10. Berwick at the Wyoming Valley West 30-yard line. 3:09 to go in this first half. Bulldogs with 1 timeout remaining. Now Klinger is the lone running back behind Marshman. They're coming on a blitz. Klinger gets it and has room. The 25, a great cut to the 20. Still on his feet, the 15, and down close to the 10-yard line. Evan Klinger. And Berwick's offensive line, even with their 3rd right guard playing this game, getting it done against this big Spartan defensive front.
They blitzed the 1A gap, and he managed to hit the other, and it was the area where Sullivan-Slabinski is blocking. He was able to make nice yardage on that.
19 yards on the run by Evan Klinger. 1st and 10, Berwick at the 11. I formation. Klinger at the tail of the tandem gets the call off the right side, and he will get down to the 8, maybe the 7-yard line.
Nice effort. not afraid to run to the side of Sullivan, Slavinsky. He had a nice block down on the inside, double team out, but linebackers coming up quickly on Evan Klinger.
4 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 6, Berwick at the Wyoming Valley West 7-yard line. Marshman will now operate out of the gun. Klinger to his right. Marshman looking to throw. Big pass rush. He's going to be sacked back at the 15-yard line. Chris Bleich among the people in on the play for Wyoming Valley West.
They can bring it when they set their mind to it. That time they did. All that beef on the inside, Bleich being the biggest, crashing down on Marshman, preventing him from getting the pass off.
3rd and 14, Berwick. Loss of 8 on the play. The ball at the Wyoming Valley West 15-yard line. Clock running 1:40 remaining in this opening half. Slot to the left side. Tegan Wilk, receiver to the right. Marshman out of the gun with Klinger to his right. Marshman has the snap. Big pass rush. He tries to get out of it. He does get the pass away. It's to Jared Watts, who is brought down to the 15-yard line. So Marshman avoids the sack, gets the pass away. It'll be caught for really no gain on the play. And Berwick will bring the field goal unit on.
No gain but no loss, Jim. Would have been a loss of about 7 yards, and that certainly affects the chances on the field goal. Sort of magician-like to not be sacked. One man holding on to him, another coming that he kind of straight arms. Flicks it out with the right hand and neutralizes the big loss.
Marshman 6 for 6 in field goal attempts this season. The hold by Klinger will be at the 22. 32-yard field goal attempt by senior Ken Marshman. Snap, placement, kick is up. He booms it through. Ken Marshman from 32 yards out. Time out on the field, 1:19 remaining in the first half. With the score, Berwick 24, Wyoming Valley West 8. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Harry's Sporting Goods, a staple in downtown Berwick, in business for over 125 years. Harry's Sporting Goods carries a wide variety of sneakers and cleats, now featuring Brooks running shoes. Harry specializes in sneakers and seasonal sporting goods, but also carries work boots and name brands including Nike and Under Armour. Harry's Sporting Goods, keeping the tradition alive while keeping up in the new era. Visit them on Facebook or on West Front Street in Berwick. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Proud to support area sports teams.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Ken Marshman kicks off following his extra point. It's fielded by Tyson at the 1-yard line to the 10 to the 15 and hit and dropped about the 20-yard line. Good special teams play by Berwick.
Blaine Cleaver again, Jim. Second tackle we've seen, and that one upends the man. Really a nice hit.
You know, talking to Frank Sheptalk in the summer about his prospects for this season, he thought the offense was going to be a work in progress. This, of course, was after the injury to Jared Marshman. He thought the defense would be much better than a year ago, and he thought the special teams had a chance to really be special. Boy, they have been.
They have. Here in the coverage, we see it. Add the kicker to that mix, and you're more than really special.
The call goes straight ahead to Bukovic looking for room, and nothing doing. Brought down right about the line of scrimmage. Wyoming Valley West has no timeouts left. I look for them to just run out this clock, and they will get the football to start the second half. When you think about Berwick special teams, the punt return by Wilk that set up that field goal, the kick return for a touchdown by Evan Klinger, the kickoffs by Marshman, the field goal by Marshman, the extra points. Berwick just has been terrific on special teams.
Significant part of the game.
The call goes to Zach Davies. Davies off the right side looking for room, and nothing there. The clock winds down.
Ryan Laubach coming up very nicely from the cornerback position. Keeps contained, keeps it to a very short gain.
Berwick will use a timeout here, and why not? If there's a possibility that you might get a chance at a special teams play, and maybe you will, then you've got to take that chance.
Oh, I totally agree. You have it. You don't get points for the timeouts you take into halftime. So take the advantage.
It's been a wild second quarter. It was 7-0 Berwick after the first quarter play. The Bulldogs in this second quarter with 17 points, and Wyoming Valley West with 8 of their own. The Bulldogs equaling their total for a year ago. Remember in Kingston, Berwick lost that game 48-24. They got off to a great start, led 14-0, and then the Spartans scored a 5 straight possessions.
What do you do here, Jim, if you're Valley West?
Well, Berwick's had a timeout, so really, I just take a knee here.
I think they are. I'm looking at how deep the tailback is. It might be that just down it, and then you're assured of running the clock out.
Dwyer will take the knee. Again, Berwick can't stop that clock. They'll have to take one more snap. There's about a 4-second differential. Play clock and the game clock.
I didn't think maybe they should have ran it around a little bit back there.
Yeah, they could have run out the clock.
They feel they can run it out. Yeah, they have
Most of it. That is the end of the first half of play from Crispin Field. Berwick 24, Wyoming Valley West 8. Stick around. Andy will have the first half stats. Ben Willis will bring us updated on the scoreboard, and I'll have the scoring for you when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
The Classic Rock Channel, 103.5.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Halftime from Crispin Field in Berwick. Homecoming activities about to take place. Down on the field, Berwick scoring the final 17 points of the first half and going in at the break with the lead 24-8 over Wyoming Valley West. Bulldogs took the opening kickoff, marched from their 18-yard line to the 29-yard line of Wyoming Valley West. A couple of big plays by Damon Beckhorn, including a 24-yard run out of the Wildcat. But as they reached the 29, Jared Marshman was stripped of the football. Zach Davies recovered the fumble. Wyoming Valley West took over, put together a 10-play drive, but came up short. Jake Gertis' 34-yard field goal was no good. Berwick answered with a touchdown drive. 4 plays, 80 yards. Evan Klinger in from 18 yards for his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. Biggest play on the drive, a 45-yard strike from Jared Marshman to Joe Norris. Ken Marshman followed with the extra point. Berwick had a 7-0 lead with 3:21 to go in the first. Still in the first. Big moment in the ball game. 7-play drive for Wyoming Valley West. Started at their own 23. Reached the Berwick 5-yard line with a 2nd and goal. Rob Dwyer, their big quarterback, took the snap, appeared to be headed toward the end zone. It was a rugby scrum, get pushed from behind. Play kept alive. Someone stripped the ball from him. David Beckhorn recovered, and Berwick survived that threat. However, early in the second quarter, the Bulldogs forced a punt from deep in their own territory, and Alex Sharkuski's punt was blocked by Brendan Wood. Berwick recovered, but it resulted in a safety for Wyoming Valley West, and the Berwick lead was 7-2 just 19 seconds into that second quarter. On Ken Marshman's ensuing kick, Sean Makovich returned it 30 yards to the Berwick 45-yard line. And then from the Berwick 14-yard line on a 3rd and 13, Dwyer threw it into the end zone into traffic, and Darian Tyson went up high, made a great catch, out-battling several Bulldogs for the touchdown. The run for the 2-point conversion failed, but the Spartans had their first lead at 8-7. That lead lasted 13 seconds. The ensuing kickoff was fielded up the middle by Evan Klinger. Got some blocking to the near side of the field, raced 93 yards for the touchdown. Marshman kicked the extra point. 9:22 to go in the half. Berwick led by a score of 14-8. Bulldogs would answer later in that half with another touchdown. 5:21 to go. Owen Shoemaker, a 21-yard run, capping a 5-play, 39-yard drive. Biggest play by far on the drive, a 3rd and 14 for Berwick, and a 15-yard strike from Jared Marshman to Jared Watts. Following the Shoemaker touchdown run, Ken Marshman with the extra point, 21-8 Bulldogs. And they added to that lead, capping a 5-play drive with 1:19 to go in the half on a 32-yard field goal by Ken Marshman, who is now 7 for 7 on the season in that department. Bulldogs going in the break, leading by a score of 24-8. Stay with us at halftime. We'll check the first half stats and also scores with Ben Willis. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Ryan, technician with Safelite Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. With Safelite, you get more. Every windshield we replace is backed by a national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Plus, Safelite has more glass in stock than anyone, so we can get to you faster.
Just tell your insurance company you want Safelite, or call us at 1-800-800-2727, or go to safelite.com.
Anderson Enterprises, located on the corner of 2nd Street and Oak Avenue in Berwick, has been serving Berwick and surrounding communities with heating oil since 1975. Anderson Enterprises provides home heating oil for residential and commercial customers at a low, affordable price. Anderson Enterprises, located on the corner of 2nd and Oak Street in Berwick. Call 570-752-3291. And keep warm this winter with Anderson Enterprises, proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs. And don't forget, they have dry ice as well.
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
As a community bank, First Columbia Bank and Trust knows the value of helping our young people dream, excel, and reach their goals. For more than 118 years, First Columbia has been committed to helping our communities prosper and our youth succeed. We're proud to invest in our youth through athletics, the arts, and education. First Columbia Bank and Trust, every step of the way.
Your hometown bank, the first place to go for your big time plans. Together we'll grow every step of the way. First Columbia Bank.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
Taking a look at the high school football scoreboard this evening, Southern Columbia leads Danville 20-3 at halftime. Lostock leads Bloomsburg 20-6 at half. South Williamsport leads Central Columbia 7-3. Dallas leads Wyoming area 14-7. Hazleton leads Donegal 7-6. Crestwood leads Hanover 21-0. Selinsgrove leads Central Mountain 20-3. Lake Lehman leads Holy Redeemer 35-0 at halftime. Also at half, Pittston leads Nanticoke 27-7. North Pocono and Valley View are tied at 14. And in the second, Mount Carmel leads Lewisburg 35-14. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazleton 103.5.
Halftime from Crispin Field at Berwick. Bulldogs leading the Spartans of Wyoming Valley West by a score of 24-8. Stats from the first half, Andy Lickney.
Berwick has the edge in total offense, Jim, more than an edge. not quite double, but 191 yards in total offense to 106 for Valley West. Valley West split is 92 on the ground, just 14 yards in the air. The passing game of Valley West is rather limited. We expected that. Just one complete in 4 attempts, no interceptions, but the one complete was a 14-yard touchdown. That was Darian Tyson, a very athletic play. Basically threw it up for him like a basketball pass. He's a 6-footer. They relied on his ability to know the route, know it was coming, and out-jump the opposition. And against Berwick, that's saying something, and he was able to do so for his 14-yard touchdown catch, the only completion of the half for Valley West. But it's the running game that gives them their reputation, and they did show they could run the ball. I think the main ball carrier you have to look at is the quarterback, Rob Dwyer. He's a big part of the offense, most runs by design. In all, 11 carries for 53 yards. He was up to 70 yards at one point, but 3 plays after that, Berwick catching him in the backfield or even dropping him for sacks. Takes off 17 of those yards here at the end of the half, so he has a net of 53 yards on 11 carries. Sean Mikovich, listed as the running back, 7 carries for 27. Zach Davies splits time with him, looks more like a fullback, 4 carries for 11 yards. And then Darian Tyson, who had the reception. He's done a couple end-arounds, jet sweep type actions, a little more deception, a little bit more movement in the backfield to hide it. He has 2 carries for 10 yards. The team lost 8 and lost 9 actually on the kneel down as well. They lost a fumble on a option play type of pitch. Didn't know who to give the loss to, the quarterback or to the running back, so we'll blame the team on that one. A negative 9 yards in all for the team. A net of 92 yards rushing on 26 plays. Just 14 yards on the one completed pass. 106 yards in total offense for Wyoming Valley West. Berwick, compared to that 106, has 191. They'd have been pushing 200, except Jared Marshman in the negatives as he suffered a sack at the very end of things. Berwick running the ball, 125 yards. In the air, 66. Berwick hasn't thrown all that much. Surprisingly, they're going at this team on the ground, even though they're overmatched with the size differential at times. They've felt good about the running game, and it's paid off in the statistics. But in the air, 4 completes for Jared Morshman on 8 passing attempts. He did suffer a drop along there as well, so his total could have been better. Damon Beckhorn has 1 catch. That's a 6-yarder. Jared Watts has 2 catches for 15. One was sort of tossed from the quarterback while he's being sacked at the line of scrimmage, which didn't net anything, but is long a 15-yarder. And Joe Norris took the longest pass by design. They flanked people wide, ran them deep, and then Norris kind of went down the middle relatively deep, caught it and ran with it for 45 yards in an early drive. So 4 completes in 8 attempts, 66 total yards in the passing game. In the running game, Evan Klingers looked strong. He's had a tremendous 93-yard kick return touchdown. That doesn't go into the rushing stats, but added to his highlights in this game. So far in the first half, running 9 carries for 67 yards against this oversized defense. And he's looked tough. He was held in check early, and then it seems as he sort of got things going as the line sort of got used to things. They've been gashing and making some bigger plays for him. Owen Shoemaker certainly did gash one after a 1-yard gain. He then went 21 yards. Oh, a touchdown to his credit in there. 2 carries in all for 22 yards. Joey Lynn, a 2-yard carry. Damon Beckhorn did a little bit from Wildcat. 2 carries in all at 40 yards for him on some beautiful running. And then we go down to the quarterback, Jared Marshman. I have him with 4 carries in all. Fumbled one away and also suffered a sack I have him at minus 6 yards on the game. So in the ground game, 125 yards for Berwick on 19 rushes. In the air, 4 of 8 passing, no interceptions, 66 yards. 191 in total offense compared to the 106. But factor in that 93-yard kickoff return by Evan Klinger. Factor in the kicking of Kenneth Marshman. And factor in a lot of things, and Berwick has come out looking strong as we've hit halftime.
They have, Andy, and one of the difficulties of being a run-heavy team like Wyoming Valley West, pun intended, is you're behind now, 24-8. But I think from their standpoint, you still have to be patient. You still have to do what you do because they're not going to be Berwick throwing the football.
No, they're not. That's the strength of the Berwick defense. They can come at you with blitzes, and they can certainly come at you with coverage. This is a team that was built upon the run. It's huge. It has the power, and it has a very nice scheme. I'm very impressed with all the formations, all the disguises, the motions, and how many different people they can run at you very, very effectively. So I would certainly, if I'm coaching that team, stay with my basic philosophy throughout the third quarter, try to tighten things up, and then if you have to open it up some in the fourth, so be it. But you stay with your strength. This game's not out of reach. Valley West showing a very good competitive spirit, showed a lot of offense. They just need to kind of finish drives.
From a defensive standpoint for Wyoming Valley West, I just think that Jared Marshman is so accurate, your only hope is to come after him and blitz him.
Well, and you have to know when he's doing that, too. The fact is, Berwick's stuck with the running game. I didn't think they would. And if you're blitzing, you might very well blitz by Evan Klinger. And if you have 4 men running the other way and he runs past you and he's into that second level, he's very, very dangerous out there. As is Owen Shoemaker, who proved it, as is a Damon Beckhorn in a Wildcat, as are a lot of these people. So it's tough. I do agree in passing downs. I'd come at him. He doesn't have the mobility right now. Berwick might keep some extra protection in, but I think Berwick's going to be best on passing on the more non-obvious passing downs.
Can't say enough about Jared Marshman and the way he's performed after missing all that time. He looks terrific out there. He looks composed. And again, there's at least 3 passes that could have been caught in that opening half that would make his stats, which were pretty good, look even better.
Yeah, and he flipped one away rather than suffer a sack. No, I'm quite impressed. On his fumble that was punched away from him, I think it caught him off guard. And you can see a little bit of the limited agility. It's not a question of effort or a question of his ability to run, because he can run with power. He showed that. But the kind of spin on that leg and go in the other complete to a 180 to try to chase a ball down and get low for it doesn't quite have all that. But just about every other aspect of the game is there. His passes have been on the money. Receivers have left them down a little bit. But the running game hasn't. I've been very impressed by the running game against this big, strong Valley West defense.
Yeah, take nothing away from Evan Klinger. He runs hard all the time, and he has good vision. But the Berwick offensive line has done a job.
And they're doing it with a number 2 and then a number 3 in there. Mike Zaludo, suffering an illness, not able to go today. Might be listening to this for all we know. Chris Gross went in and did a nice job. And then we have that Irish-Polish kid, Sullivan Slaviaski. I like the Polish side. I know you'd like the Irish side. But I've been keying on him a little bit. I've watched him pull on the one passing play to protect on the outside. I watched him run in his gap. And yeah, he's given it a real nice effort for a guy who probably wasn't expecting to be in a varsity game this year, let alone against some of the biggest defenders he'll ever see in Valley West.
And there were big plays in that opening half. Obviously, the fumble by Dwyer at the 1-yard line that stopped Wyoming Valley West from scoring. But then again, you go back, there was a pass dropped by Berwick out at the 40-yard line. They then had a punt from their own end zone. That led to the safety, and then that led to a touchdown eventually. So those things happen. But a good first half by Berwick.
Yeah, I think Frank Sheptock has to be very, very pleased with the effort, with the game plan, and then the execution of the game plan. The players believe in what he's doing. If I was a player and you said we're going to run right at these big guys, I'd be questioning you a little bit. But he knows the system, and it didn't work in the first, set of downs, but he stayed with it. He got the angles. They get the leverage they want. They're able to make things happen. And it's a tribute to them. Good coaching, good game planning, and excellent execution by the players.
Berwick has lost 3 straight games in this rivalry, 7 of the last 8, but they have the lead at the half. It is Berwick 24 and Wyoming Valley West 8. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Hogs Hollow Saloon is the place to get the area's most popular barbecue. All house smoked daily. Smoked pulled pork, ribs, beef brisket, jumbo wings, chicken, and more. Hogs Hollow Saloon is bringing entertainment back to the area 3 nights a week. National tribute bands, local bands, and Wednesday night open mics. Inside dining, outdoor dining on the deck, entertainment inside and out. Be sure to grab the area's original Orange Crush. Hogs Hollow Saloon, Route 93 between Berwick and Orangeville. Check them out on Facebook.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
The Classic Rock Channel, 103.5.
Anderson Enterprises, located on the corner of 2nd Street and Oak Avenue in Berwick, has been serving Berwick and surrounding communities with heating oil since 1975. Anderson Enterprises provides home heating oil for residential and commercial customers at a low, affordable price. Anderson Enterprises, located on the corner of 2nd and Oak Street in Berwick. Call 570-752-3291. And keep warm this winter with Anderson Enterprises, proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs. And don't forget, they have dry ice as well.
Welch's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welch's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welch's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welch's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welch's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Just a couple of minutes before the kickoff to start the second half here at Crispin Field. The Bulldogs leading the Spartans of Wyoming Valley West by a score of 24-8. This is week number 8 of the 10-week regular season. Black Knights of Lake Lehman will be here for senior night next Friday night. Lake Lehman with that big lead over Holy Redeemer at the half. So in all likelihood, they will bring a 6-2 record into that game. Of course, they don't play the caliber of schedule of Berwick, but they do have the top rushing team in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Be interesting to see them next week, and then the Bulldogs will close out the regular season the following week at Williamsport. If you're wondering why you didn't hear a Williamsport score when Ben Willis gave the scores earlier, that's because they are playing tomorrow night at Wilkes-Barre Memorial against the Crusaders of Coughlin. But here it is, Berwick 24 and Wyoming Valley West 8 as the Bulldogs try to break a 3-game losing streak in this series. In fact, the last time Berwick won was here at Crispin Field back in 2013 when the C.J. Curry and George Curry led Bulldogs won by a score of 42-28. The longest winning streaks in this series, Wyoming Valley West won 4 in a row from 2009 to 2012, and Berwick had the longest streak in this series. They won 10 consecutive games against Wyoming Valley West from 1987 to 1996. And then Wyoming Valley West won a memorable 3-0 game here in 1997. Yep. And even though it was 1997, they celebrated like it was 1999. They tore up the town after that one. They were pretty excited, as you can imagine. 10-game losing streak. Well, Berwick will be pretty excited to get this one if they can hang on. They lead it 24-8. Wyoming Valley West will get the football to start the second half. And again, you look at that margin, you think, well, they've got to go to the air, but that's not what they do best. And I'd be surprised with a long way to go if the Spartans don't stick to their run game. See if they can get a score and get back in this one.
Now, 24-8, you get the ball. If you can establish yourself a drive, no matter how long it takes, you've cut this lead significantly. But a lot of time still to play. So you stay with what you do best. I'd be surprised if they jump from that.
Ken Marshman will kick it off. Sean Makovich and Darian Tyson deep for the Spartans. Wyoming Valley West moving from our right to our left as we view things here in the second half. Marshman has the signals for the officiating crew, and the kick gets the second half underway. To the goal line, it's Tyson. To the 10, to the 15, and he tripped himself, I believe.
Yeah.
Over the 20, about the 21-yard line.
Sharkuski was down in the area, forced him to put a cut. As he kind of planned it, down he went. So, excellent field position for the Berwick defense after the nice long kick by Marshman.
They mark it at the 22, so that's where the Spartans will put it in play. Their first snap of the second half. Carson Caravan in as a blocking back to the left of Dwyer. He operates out of the gun, fakes handoff, keeps the football, and is struck and hit hard, maybe a half yard on the play.
Jimmy LeGrand played the fake and then saw the quarterback, followed him after playing the fake and honoring it. Berwick also had Tom Monaco in there and the third man to keep that to well less than a yard.
Second down, a long 9 for the Spartans, just short of their own 23-yard line. Dwyer under center. Then stands up, backs up, looks to the sideline. He's out of the gun now. The protector to his right. Second down call. It's Dwyer again on the carry. Lowers the shoulder, but gets very little. He marks it out about the 27 or 28-yard line. It's going to pick up a third down play.
Tom Monaco, Noah Craig chasing him off to the left and then squaring up. That will go for about 5, but they didn't sell anything on that. Straight at him with the quarterback student body action.
Third down and 4. Spartans at their own 28-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. Dwyer under center. Tyson in motion left to right. Dwyer will give the ball to Tyson, who comes back, and Berwick reads it beautifully, and he's brought down right in the play. Jimmy LeGrand with a terrific defensive play for the Bulldogs.
He was able to take it inside because Damon Beckhorn played outside, contained, forced the quarterback into Jimmy LeGrand, who really wraps people up well. Great team defense there.
4th and 5 for Wyoming Valley West. Jake Blasky in to do the punting. Brendan Woods does the long snapping. And Evan Klinger and Tegan Wilk hoping for an opportunity to return for the Bulldogs. The kick will go to Wilk at the Berwick 45-yard line. Tegan Wilk to midfield. Tegan Wilk getting tackled as he gets to about the Spartan 45-yard line. So Berwick with good field position to start this second half. Their first possession, 9:52 to go in the third. They lead Wyoming Valley West 24-8.
You mentioned the importance of specialty teams, Jim. The kick by Marshman down to the goal line. Coverage keeps him inside the 25, better than a touchback. Strong defense forces a punt. Nice catch and return gives Berwick wonderful field position.
They have it at the Wyoming Valley West 46-yard line. Bulldogs move from our left to our right in this third quarter. Eric Montez is in as a tight end to the left. Joe Norse just off his left shoulder. Offset eye behind Marshman, who gives the ball to Klinger. Evan Klinger has some running room and gets to about the 42, maybe the 41-yard line on the first down carry.
Running hard. Like the look of that. Little counter tray action. Coming from left side with the backs and tight ends and also a pulling guard. And attacking on the right side. Give him 5.
Second down call, Berwick from the Spartan 42-yard line. Klinger comes in motion, takes the handoff, hits hard as he gets inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Time Evan Klinger was lined up to the left. Came in motion, took the handoff. He'll come up a yard or two short of the first down yardage.
Carson Canavan happened to be in the lane he wanted to run. I don't even think you saw Evan Klinger coming, but he happened to be low. Took the hit from Klinger and kept him a yard short of the chains.
3rd down and 2. Berwick at the Wyoming Valley West 38-yard line. Marshman now out of the gun. Joey Lynn, a blocking back to the left. Klinger comes in motion right to left, and the snap goes through the arms of Marshman, who goes back and covers it at the Berwick 42-yard line.
Yeah, it's tough in high school when you go with the shotgun snap. Sooner or later, one's going to sail a little bit high, and that one sailed high with gusto. Went about 15 yards back before the quarterback, Marshman, could get to it. And again, it's one of the areas where he doesn't have that smooth agility after the injury to the leg to fall on it, but he did a nice job there.
Loss of 20 on that play as Sharkuski back to do the punting, standing back at the Berwick 29-yard line, awaiting the snap from the 9th grader, Jake Lanning. The snap is a bad one. Skitters along the turf, and Kusky gets the kick away, and it hits a lineman from Wyoming Valley West, and Berwick will recover at the 42-yard line.
Crazy play. Crazy play. The snap needs to be one hopped, and it's not one hop cleanly. It bounces away from Sharkuski, who gets it. He dodges the one man who has a chance to block it, and then gets off an end-over-end kick downfield. Number 34, Jonathan Stracla, obviously tried to make the catch. It hit him. He never had possession. Berwick will maintain this on the fumble. And then Berwick comes up with his fumble ball.
A good play, though, by Sharkuski to get the kick away. I mean, he really avoids the disaster, and Berwick in business at the Spartan 42 with 7:46 to go in the third. The Bulldogs leading 24-8 as Markov against Tom Monaco as he lost his footing and started backwards. So the 5-yard walk-off will make it 1st and 15, Berwick at the Wyoming Valley West 47.
But the last 3 type of plays were as goofy as they get. Snap way over the quarterback's head leads to a punt that bounces to the punter, and a punt he barely gets off, and then fumbled downfield, and then an awkward offsides.
Play action. Marshman back to throw. Looking, rolls right, fires to the sideline, incomplete. Pass intended for Damon Beckhorn. Sean Makovich on the coverage. He had the best crack at it.
I was able to get a hand in front. I was surprised by Marshman's ability to avoid the rush, step to the right, calmly look, drill it to the man on the sideline, but Makovich able to get a hand inside and punch it away.
2nd and 15. Berwick at the Wyoming Valley West 47-yard line. Jared Watts is the lone wide receiver. He's far to the left side. I formation behind Marshman, who gives the ball to Klinger off the right, breaks a tackle to the 40, breaks another, cuts it outside 35-30, 25-20, and brought down from behind inside the 15-yard line. Terrific effort by Evan Klinger.
Was it ever? Ran off the left side, got about 4 yards, and then broke back to the right while everyone's momentum was going the other way. The cutback put him in a race toward the end zone, and eventually the angles catch up with him, but not until he finishes the long run.
35 yards in the carry by Evan Klinger. 1st and 10. The Berwick at the 12-yard line of Wyoming Valley West. Owen Shoemaker replaces Klinger at the tailback spot. Joey Lynn, the fullback ahead of him. Lynn with a good block, and Shoemaker inside the 5 and driving the legs very close to the goal line.
He's a powerful runner, and momentum has a lot to do with it. Valley West reeling after that last run by Klinger, which gave him 114 on the game. Now just a little bit flat. Boy, you can't go flat when Owen Shoemaker comes pounding at you.
11 yards on that carry by Shoemaker. 1st and goal, Berwick at the 1. J.J. Snyder is the fullback. Lynn the tailback. Lynn dives for the end zone, and no indication.
Just short, Jimmy. There won't be. He dove, came down on top of the football, which was an inch short of the goal line. but he made a wonderful effort and brought it ever closer.
Second down and goal, Berwick. Again, Snyder, the fullback, ahead of Lynn. Marshman, quarterback, keeper straight ahead. Jared Marshman headed toward the end zone, and they do now indicate touchdown, Berwick.
He has a push, knows how to use the center snap. Give that center a nice little push. Noah Craig moves forward. Marshman with the big body. Make sure that the ball is lying across the goal line when he finishes.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for Jared Marshman. Now the extra point attempt coming for Ken Marshman out of the hold of Evan Klinger.
Been struggling a little on snaps and holds.
High snap, and Klinger's going to run for it, and he is going to be dropped about the 7-yard line. Time on the field, 6:21 remaining in the third quarter. Berwick 30, Wyoming Valley West 8. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Berwick leads at 30-8 as the kick by Marshman will be fielded at the 6-yard line by Makovich, who then drops the football, picks it up, and works his way out to about the 21-yard line. That's where Wyoming Valley West will put it in play. But Berwick takes advantage of a punt hitting the back of a Wyoming Valley West blocker and recovering in Spartan territory, and then putting together a 5-play drive capped on the 1-yard keeper by Jared Marshman. And the Bulldogs have broken this open. They lead at 30-8, 6:14 to go in the third.
We've mentioned Valley West maintaining its philosophy of run first. So we're getting out of hand now. We'll see how they operate.
First and 10 for the Spartans from the 21. Dwyer fires a quick out, has Jake Blasky, and Blasky's tripped up. Boy, Damon Beckhorn across that line of scrimmage in a hurry. He has become such a sure tackler from that corner position. They'll actually lose the yard on that reception.
Yes, they will. He often roams there with the threat of blitz, and I think he read that very quickly. So he plays up even in front of linebackers sometimes. And he just sensed that play, got in there so quickly, squares up on Blasky, gives him nowhere to run, lose a yard.
Second and 11, Spartans from their 20. Dwyer under center. Tyson comes in motion. Dwyer will keep the football, and he is tripped up at the 22, maybe got to the 23-yard line.
Damon Beckhorn now on the left side, Jim. Made a play in the backfield from the right side. Now Beckhorn makes the play on the left side for basically no gain. They'll give him a yard.
Third down and 10. Wyoming Valley West. Remember, this is a team that, despite their 2-5 record, averages over 30 points a game. They have 8 on the board with 5 minutes to go here in the third.
Team that can put the points up and run up the offensive numbers, but Berwick defense is putting some nice series together.
Trips to the right side on third and 10. Dwyer back to throw, steps up inward, fires a bullet into traffic. The ball is tipped, and is it caught across the way? It is at the 43-yard line for a first down.
Suleiman Ishmael comes up with it, Jim. I didn't know if he had inbound position. Berwick hit it about 7 yards upfield, and it bounced high, and Suleiman Ishmael happens to be back there. He's able to play the tip drill, get his feet down in bounds. So one of the longest plays of the night for Valley West.
22 yards on the reception to Suleiman. First and 10, Spartans at their 43. Makovich to the left of Dwyer, who takes the shotgun snap, gives it to Makovich. off the right side, and Sean Makovich will get over the 45 to about the 47-yard line.
A little bit of momentum now after that big play. Berwick had it defended pretty well. They were there for the tip. But Valley West proves opportunistic, taking the tip. Now a nice running play to start this new set of downs.
4 yards for Sean Makovich. 2nd and 6. Spartans at their own 47. Tyson in motion to the left. Dwyer going to keep the football off the left. Has running room. Breaks a tackle. Has the first down and then some. Down the sideline, 35-30. 25-20 and ridden out of bounds. And a flag down on the play.
Yeah, they ran him out, and then another man ran into him, and it was unnecessary. The emphasis is on safety this year. One official pulling the flag immediately, another following. Berwick fans feeling, hey, it's near the sideline. The guy's really extending. The players are just going for him. But I think I'd have thrown that flag, too. Rob Dwyer showed amazing speed.
So it's a 35-yard run by Dwyer, and then a half the distance penalty, which will give the Spartans a 1st and goal at the Berwick 9-yard line.
Dwyer has 94 yards on the game, and you know, for a while, he's outrunning Damon Beckhorn down that sideline.
He is very, very athletic.
Yes.
And again, listed at 210, but looks a lot bigger than that. 1st and goal for the Spartans with 3:45 remaining in this third. Zach Davies goes in motion to the left, but a flag down the play.
Heard the whistles, didn't see which referee threw it. Did you, Jim?
Yes, the far corner.
Okay.
The left
side judge. Counting players. I don't know. The way for him to sort this one out. Tell us, Earl. Earl Harris, one of the top officials in the area. Illegal participation against Berwick.
Another penalty, 5 yards.
Frank Sheptock is saying.
And yet no one's coming off the field.
Yeah.
You're going to get another one.
So if they had 12.
Yeah. Are they going to wave? They're waving the flag away. They counted her. Oh, did that get a cheer from the crowd?
Well, that, for an official, that's embarrassing.
A little bit.
I mean, you say there's 12 out there, there's only 11.
Yeah. They watched Alex Parks count them, too. He said, yeah, it's 11. Good.
1st and goal from the 9. Dwyer out of the gun. Has the snap. Going to keep it himself. Trying to get outside right. Breaks one tackle. Pursuit is there and forced out of bounds across the way. Flag down there.
Berwick's a little too aggressive near the sideline, Jim. Now they did it on the far side. They had done it here on this side.
Although
and you just can't play
the official that called that was nowhere near the far sideline.
Yeah.
Nowhere near.
Depends how he sees things. Maybe he saw someone else with a push. Quarterback's extremely elusive, though. I mean, Berwick had Lawbaugh coming up to try to contain him, and he slowed him down, but he was able to get wide of Lawbaugh before Jimmy LeGrand took a tough angle, worked him out of bounds.
Well, the call will go against Berwick. It'll be a personal foul, which will be, well, we'll see where they're going to mark it. Should be about the 4-yard line, I believe.
And it may not have been the push out of bounds or hit out there. It might have been something else away from the play, as you mentioned, the flag in a different area.
Ball at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, Spartans. To give us to Davies. Zach Davies off the right side. Davies headed for the end zone. He's in for the touchdown. Zach Davies from 4 yards out.
Beautiful look at counter Trey. They've been using these 2 extra backs, big backs, about 270. Pulling them to the play side, running behind it. He weaved a little bit, made the final dive into the end zone. Very nice run by Zach Davies. Good blocking by his teammates.
Biggest play along the way, a 35-yard run by quarterback Rob Dwyer. Jake Curtis will attempt the extra point. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field, 3:31. Remaining in this third quarter. Berwick 30, Wyoming Valley West 15. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 60 years of service, can handle all of your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete and lightweight block. They have front-end discharge trucks for ready-mix concrete. Riverview Block also carries all masonry supplies, sand and gravel. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block 752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Down a two-possession lead for the Bulldogs. 30-15 is the count, as Wyoming Valley West goes 7 plays and 79 yards. Longest play along the way, a 35-yard run by quarterback Rob Dwyer. Zach Davis in from 4 yards out. So the Spartans stay within striking distance. Still 3:31 to go in the third. Berwick 30, Wyoming Valley West 15.
Dwyer's quite a player, Jim. He can certainly play for my team. 94 yards rushing from that quarterback position. Follows blocks well.
And a pooch kick to the far side. And going up is Eric Montez. High to make the grab for the Bulldogs.
He has good hands. Plays tight end. Made a nice catch. He's able to fair catch that if he really chose to, which would have avoided any type of people smashing into him. I think he enjoys the collisions. Willing to take a little bump as it comes down.
That's
it
a
was
good
a high
play.
pooch.
Good play by the Spartans. Obviously, you don't want to kick it to Evan Klinger again.
No. I don't know what kind of attempt they had on it, though. It was a high pooch kick rather than a bouncing one. Easily fielded by a good hands team with Eric Montez there.
1st and 10 for Berwick. At the Bulldog 44-yard line. Jared Marshman under center. Shoemaker, the lone running back. He gets the call, tries the right side, and gets just a yard to the 45-yard line.
And running hard. Again, Berwick a little bit depleted at the guard position. We mentioned Zalitko not able to go because of illness. Chris Gross then getting injured. And Sullivan Slaviaski in there at right guard. They attacked this spot and got a yard.
2nd and 8. They mark it at the 46. Marshman out of the gun, rolls right, stops, plants the feet, fires the pass, short hops it. Intended for Damon Beckhorn. Incomplete, so it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
Beckhorn looks to be trying to work out some tight calf muscles in there. He would have liked to have that ball about belt high and be able to catch it and go.
So here's the 3rd down and 8 as Tegan Wilk and Justin Robbins check in. They join Damon Beckhorn and Jared Watts. 4 wide receivers for Marshman to choose from on this 3rd down play. He operates out of the gun with Shoemaker to his left. Wyoming Valley West coming hard. They will wrap up Marshman back at the 37-yard line.
It was the linebacker blitzing Zach Davies and then finished off by another lineman as the whistle was blowing.
Cortez Adams, 6'4", 270-pound senior, with the sack for the Spartans back at the 37. That's a loss of 9. 3rd down and 17.
Berwick would like to look a bit better against a team that they've been dominating, and yet offensively in this half, they just haven't shown a lot. Looked a little bit porous, not maintaining the drives.
Jake Lanning with a low snap again, and Charkuski gets the kick away, but barely. Very, very high. Spartans will get away from this one, and it will roll dead about the 33-yard line. So again, Charkuski does a nice job with a bad snap. That's twice he has prevented disaster with good judgment and good agility, and the Spartans will take over. And I tell you, it's still 2 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. They're down 30-15. They put together another scoring drive. They are really back in this one.
Yeah, Berwick's hurt themselves with some penalties, some 15-yarders, some hits out of bounds, some things that have taken them half the distance to the goal. And you break one big play like the quarterback did, and you are right back in this.
Dwyer out of the gun. Tyson comes in motion, gets the handoff, and Tyson will get over the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
Jet sweep from right to left, short side of the field. He'll net 4 yards on that to give him a different look. Beckhorn's still trying to stretch out his calves. You can see they're bothering him a little bit. Funny, you finally get cooler football-like weather. He seems to be cramping up a little.
2nd and 6. Wyoming Valley West at their own 37. Clock running, 1:29 to go third quarter. Berwick's lead is 30-15. Dwyer under center. Tyson in motion to the right. Dwyer keeps the football, trying to get outside right. Great pursuit by the Bulldogs. Beckhorn will roll him out of bounds at the 30-yard line on the far side. They'll lose 7 on the play.
Rolled him well out of bounds. There's a flag. Very, very, very late after the play. Was Valley West pushing someone from their sideline? Did Berwick react to something? But a very late flag. We'll see 15 yards one way or maybe both ways.
It had nothing to do, I don't believe, with the hit out of bounds.
No, Jimmy LeGrand's on that side, and he wouldn't allow it to get by him, passed it off to Beckhorn, who then ran the man out of bounds. And their momentum took them a good 7-8 yards toward the benches. They weren't going to flag that, but then they flagged something well after it. Valley West is moving back. They've hurt themselves with penalties of this nature throughout the season, Jim, and you know, they had momentum. They've made some plays. They've stopped Berwick here in this half. But that penalty after the lost yardage hurts.
The loss is 6 on the play, and then the penalty back to the 21-yard line. And what makes that devastating is the play goes.
Yeah.
The 15 comes after it. So it's third, a country mile for Wyoming Valley West back at their 21-yard line.
Beckhorn was on the left side for that play, back on the right side for this play. Matched up on the slot man.
Flags down the play.
Umpire, I believe, threw this one from directly behind. May have seen the center flinch or move that ball awkwardly, and it's 5 yards against Valley West again.
The Spartans starting to lose control here.
Berwick in a defense, too, where it looks like 5 under 2 deep. They're going to keep everything comfortably in front of them, whether it's run or pass. They can give up 10 yards. Doesn't really matter that much. Just keep it in front.
Dwyer out of the gun. Will keep the football at 3rd and 32 and gets to the outside, to the 20, to the 25, and all the way out to the 30-yard line. Well short of the first down, but another good effort running the football by senior quarterback Rob Dwyer.
He had 88 yards, and that'll put him comfortably over 100 once we add it up. Took it up the middle, found his little seam, knew he'd have open space. Just a question of how much he can do with the secondary coming up to tackle him.
18 yards on the carry by Dwyer, but again, well short of the first down yardage. Jake Blasky on to do the punting. 30 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Good snap. Kick is away, end over end. Klinger back at the Berwick 35-yard line. To the 40, to the 45. Tripped up as he got to midfield. Good return by Evan Klinger. Good field position for the Bulldogs with 21 seconds to go in the third. And their lead over the Spartans 30-15.
Nice tackle by Suleiman Ishmael, though. If he doesn't trip him up, he had a lot more open field in front of him. But Berwick, again, always good at catching the punts, and then a nice return afterwards. A lot of people might have avoided that end-over-end type of kick. Berwick comfortable in fielding it.
Evan Klinger, if you're just joining us, had a kick return for a touchdown, 93 yards. Big momentum-changing play in the first half. Bulldogs from midfield. 1st and 10. Beckhorn in motion left to right. Marshman will fake handoff, keep the ball, and he's going nowhere. Brought down right at midfield. Flag down, another flag down.
Berwick pushed Valley West player in the face mask, gave him a little bit of a straight arm as they were unpiling. Berwick that time ran into the size. Bleish was in there. Sammy Solomon was in there. Another 300-pound type of guy was there, and they just stood the quarterback up. And then sort of in separating from all that scrum, Berwick comes out with a hand up to the helmet and face mask. And that's a deserved 15 yards against Berwick.
They'll take it back to the Bulldogs' 35-yard line. And first and 25.
Now, our fans who've reacted to a lot, there's often things you can't see or you disagree with. You're not hearing them booing the officials on that as they recognize it was a deserved penalty.
As the clock winds down, 3 quarters in the books now here at Crispin Field. Berwick 30, Wyoming Valley West 15. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Ryan, technician with Safe Light Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. With Safe Light, you get more. Every windshield we replace is backed by a national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Plus, SafeLight has more glass in stock than anyone, so we can get to you faster.
Just tell your insurance company you want SafeLight, or call us at 1-800-800-2727, or go to safelight.com.
Berwick Bulldog football.
In the fourth quarter now, Southern Columbia leads Danville 41-3. Loyalsock leads Bloomsburg 39-6. And South Williamsport leads Central Columbia 28-17. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Ready for the fourth quarter play here, Crispin Field. Berwick leading Wyoming Valley West by a score of 30-15. Bulldogs to face a first and 25 following their penalty back at their own 35-yard line. Moving from our right to our left, Lake Lehman a winner tonight over Holy Redeemer 35-7. So the Black Knights will bring a 6-2 record to Crispin Field. The senior night for the Bulldogs next Friday. And then, of course, the following Friday is the regular season finale on the road to Williamsport. Berwick in great position to secure the number 1 seed for the District 2 Quad A playoffs.
I'd like to see a little better quality of play offensively, though, now out of Berwick.
From the 35-yard line, Damon Beckhorn out of the Wildcat. Snap goes over his head. Back to the 15-yard line. He tries to pick it up. He's hit. The ball is loose. Zach Davies picks it up and gets in for the touchdown. So the Spartans get a touchdown, and they are back in it with 9 seconds gone in this fourth quarter.
The quality of the offensive game plan has slipped. They've done nothing so far in this half. There's been a lot of negative plays, a lot of miscues in the punting game, snapping game. There's been problems, and that's not a recipe for success. You have a team all but wrapped up, you should put the ribbon on it, finish it strong. But Berwick, with some sloppy play here in this half, has let their arch rival, Wyoming Valley West, back in it.
Extra point attempt by Gertis. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 11:51 still to go. Berwick 30, Wyoming Valley West 22. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
With 6:21 to go in the third quarter, Berwick led this game 30-8. Looked like you had the makings of a Bulldog rout. Not anymore. 11:51 still to play. 9 seconds into this fourth quarter. And the Berwick lead is 8, 30-22.
Berwick's done nothing offensively in the second half except to make mistakes. Defensively, too many penalties as well.
Gertis kicks it along the turf to the far side. Picked up there by Keegan Wilk. Wilk at the 25, and he's getting tackled at the 27-yard line.
Brought down hard. Zach Davies, the touchdown scorer on the last play on the fumble recovery, among the people getting down there. Momentum has changed. Valley West playing with purpose again now. As Berwick has let them back into things. They're huddling on the sideline with Frank Sheptock, but they need a successful series or 2 or 3 here. They need to put together some first downs. They've looked rather inept since the halftime break.
First and 10 for Berwick.
28-yard line.
Bulldogs from their 28-yard line. Owen Shoemaker is the running back to the right of Jared Marshman, who operates out of the gun with a slot to the right. Shoemaker gets the call. He has some running room. He runs right into a tackler, but gets by him to the 36-yard line. A strong effort by Owen Shoemaker.
Yes, it was. And it was Zach Davies, the man who's pumped up after his touchdown and then the tackle on the specialty team play. They collided, and Shoemaker sent his helmet going backward, and able to spin forward. A good, tough 7-yard run by Owen Shoemaker.
Second down and 3 for Berwick. Best situation for the Bulldogs would be a long, time-consuming drive in which they add to the lead. High formation. After a shift, Montez is the tight end on the left. Joe Norris off his shoulder. Give on the play to Shoemaker. Nothing there, so he bounces it outside, makes a good effort, picks up the first down. Terrific effort again by Owen Shoemaker.
Ran into the scrum, and there was nothing there, and they'd like him to stay as a north-south downhill runner. But that time, there's nowhere to go. He bounces off the pile, comes off to his left with a little half-moon action, finds room on the outside.
So after a 7-yard gain on his first carry, he gets 8 on that carry. And Berwick has the first down at their own 43-yard line.
8 when it looked like he'd have none.
Marshman out of the gun. Play action, back to throw. He's sacked back at the 38-yard line. Wyoming Valley West coming hard.
Coming very, very hard with the blitz. Sean Mikovich coming, wrapping him up and 2 other people in the area. So Berwick struggling in its passing game as they're getting pressure very, very quickly on Jared Marshman.
Second and 15 for the Bulldogs. Their lead down to 8. Long way to go. 10-17 remaining. Slot to the right, wide receiver left, Marshman. Quick hitter. Has this man, Beckhorn, but for very little gain. Out to about the 42-yard line.
Beckhorn flanked very far to the right, running a slant in. Catches it about 2-3 yards, but immediately met by the tacklers and taken back from there. They'll give him 5 yards on the passing play as we have a stoppage. A Valley West pass rusher down holding at his knee or calf, so we'll have a little break.
So it will be a 3rd down and 10. After this injury timeout, this will be a big conversion attempt for the Bulldogs.
It will, and they've not been able to protect the quarterback in standard formations. And you don't know, how mobile quarterback Jared Marshman is to roll out, sprint out, or bootleg. But I think I'd like to get him out from directly behind the center. When it's a 3-step and throw, you say, well, we can do that, but you need 10 yards on this play. He's been able to spring receivers open, hit them when he's had time. But I think Valley West is of your philosophy, Jim. Come at him and come at him hard. That pass rusher is getting up. It is one of their key players, Sammy Solomon, Jim, 6'3", 280. So he'll miss rushing the passer on this critical down. He's jogging off under his own power. We'll see him back soon.
3rd and 10 is the call. Berwick with an 8-point lead. 10:04 remaining in the game. Justin Robbins is in as a wide receiver to the right side. And there's a slot to the left. Watts in the slot, and Beckhorn outside of him. Marshman out of the gun. Has the snap, rolls to his left. Looking, big pass rush. He'll be sacked. The ball is loose. The scramble is on at the 38-yard line. And Wyoming Valley West has come up with the football. Brendan Wood has the ball in his hand.
He rolled to the left, and I like the notion of moving the pocket, but pressure came from that far side and just kept chasing him. He was blind to it. He kind of had the ball semi-secured, but it gets punched out as he's being wrapped up. And a fumble and another disastrous play for Berwick sets Valley West up well.
1st and 10 Spartans. 38 yards away from the possible tying score with 9:43 to go. Dwyer will keep the football himself, tries the left side, and very little doing. Gets a yard or two on the play.
Berwick contained it well. Beckhorn on that side forced him in, but he's still going to push it for almost 4 yards. And this is a team, Jim, with this field position will be in 4th down territory.
2nd down and 7. Caravan is the lone running back behind Dwyer, who looks to the sideline to get the play. Makovich is on a wing to the right. Now Dwyer backs into the shotgun. Has the snap. Fires a quick out to the far side, and a miscommunication behind his intended receiver on that side. So it'll be 3rd and 7.
Jake Blasky's out there, wanted to plant, curl in. The ball was thrown as sort of a curl out, so the miscommunication. Berwick had pretty good coverage on the play anyway. Alex Parks right with him.
Here we go. 3rd down and 7 from the 35-yard line. Dwyer out of the gun. Makovich behind him. They're going to option left. The pitch is to Makovich. Berwick is all over the loss back to the 39-yard line. David Beckhorn, the first one there.
Jimmy LeGrand, also Joe Norse. Defense coming up big. Where this team, I thought, was going to have a 4th down opportunity. 4th and short if they continued their strong running game. Instead, they get pushed back, and they're going to be forced to punt.
Jake Blasky will do the punting. Keegan Wilk and Evan Klinger back anticipating for Berwick. Brendan Wood will do the long snapping for the Spartans. Blasky standing right at midfield. Good snap. Flag down. Kick is away. Line drive kick. Klinger from the 15-yard line to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Evan Klinger carrying tacklers all the way to the 40-yard line. We'll check the flag.
At the line of scrimmage, someone into neutral zone or broke a stance. Berwick would decline the penalty. If it's in favor where Valley West is against Berwick, they'll take it and probably still punt again. Now, after all that, there's a player down. Berwick has Evan Klinger getting up rather slowly.
Illegal procedure against Wyoming Valley West will be declined. They'll check on Klinger, who just made a terrific run back out near the 40-yard line with 8:08 remaining in the game, and Berwick leading Wyoming Valley West by a score of 30-22.
Klinger was trying to get up on all fours and looked like he couldn't put any weight onto the one leg, so figured let's let the trainers come out, give it a good look. Sometimes you can heel on the field a little bit while the things are stopped. You can get back and play sooner. That's a best-case scenario for Berwick. It could be more severe than that as they do tend to him. Berwick's going to suck some water, so is Valley West. And Berwick's in a position where offensively they need to make things happen. Evan Klinger will be out at least this play, if not more. They're suffering at the one guard position. We're at their number 3 man. They've been suffering with some high snaps, which they haven't had the trouble with in a while. They've been suffering with a very aggressive defense coming at them. Evan Klinger's up, limping off like a pirate a little bit, but knowing him, I think you'll see him back in this game. Just a question of when. Right now, the type of limp he's showing, he's not going to be an effective runner. So, Owen Shoemaker, Joey Lynn, whichever combination you go with, going to have to do it. And it's a critical time. 8 minutes is a lot of time yet. And Berwick has struggled offensively throughout this half.
Bulldogs have it at their own 40-yard line. Marshman under center. I formation behind him. Shoemaker is the tailback. He gets the call. Hit behind the line. Breaks away from one man, but then is buried. They'll lose yardage back near the 35-yard line.
That struggling guard position where Berwick's fighting with depth, they basically drove the man. Remember, you're looking at 300-pounders in there taking on young players. Almost picked the man up and threw him into the backfield to get the penetration that bust that play.
2nd and 14, Bulldogs at their 36-yard line. 7:35 to go. 30-22 is precarious Bulldog lead. Offset eye behind Marshman, who's under center, gives the ball to Shoemaker again, tries that right side and gets nowhere. Right about the line of scrimmage.
The aggressive linebacker, Zach Davies, watching the play, shuffling to his left, shooting on through the gap that opens, limiting it to a 2-yard gain to Shoemaker.
3rd and 13. This is a tough call for Berwick. Obviously, 3rd and 13 is difficult, but they've not been able to protect Marshman. No. And they may want to play it conservatively, punt, and count on their defense.
It might be. Punt conservative calls would be draws. You're not going to quarterback draw with Marshman. Screens. Just hope you can protect them.
Marshman has the snap, fires, has Beckhorn at the 45, makes a move and gets the first down at the Wyoming Valley West 48-yard line.
Big, really big. Beckhorn wide to the left. He was the target. Slanting in, catches it about 10, knows he has to dance a little bit to get to the chains. Able to use those shake and bake moves to get the important first down for his team. On target by Marshman, and that nice run after the catch by Damon Beckhorn.
15 yards on the reception on the 3rd and 13. 6:20 to go in the game. Gives to Shoemaker. Has room off the left side to the 40-yard line. Owen Shoemaker with a good effort.
And he'll give you the best effort. He always does, and that's an important one. He's giving you it a critical time. A 9-yard first down burst. Now Berwick has some options as what they want to do here on 2nd down. Not the worst time to think Wildcat somewhere in this series, Jim.
Damon Beckhorn right now, though, in a slot to the right. Jared Watts outside of him. 2nd down and 2. Wyoming Valley West coming on a blitz. Shoemaker gets it and gets the first down. Hard run by him to the 34-yard line.
He always gives it to you. Very aggressive runner. He had to sidestep a man right at the point of the handoff. He should have been dropped for a 3-yard loss. Got it, quick sidestep, and then north-south to get the chains.
The clock will become a factor soon. It's running. 5:37 to play. Berwick on the march in Wyoming Valley West territory. First down at the Spartan 34. Slot to the right side, I formation.
Joey Lynn leading the way, fullback.
Wyoming Valley West showing blitz and may have made contact.
Bringing just about everybody up who's not covering a receiver. So 9 men look like they want to try to stop the run. Little bark of the cadence, and Valley West does come across, Jim. 1st and 5 is a tremendous situation for an offense. In fact, you're in a position where even on 4th down, if you weren't able to get it, you'd be tempted if it's very short.
Lynn is the fullback. Ahead of Shoemaker in the eye. Eric Montez, the tight end to the left. 1st and 5 from the 29. Marshman, play action. Back to throw, looking for all of it. It's not there, so he keeps the football and gets down to about the 27-yard line.
Zach Davis eventually getting low, but a nice move by Marshman. He had the time, didn't feel comfortable with the throw. The coverage too tight, decided to take it forward, gained about a yard.
2nd down and 4. Bulldogs. 4:39 and the clock running. Berwick wants to use as much time as they can and make this a 2-possession game if they can. Slot to the right. I formation. Shoemaker gets the call. Off the left side, Owen Shoemaker will pick up just a couple. It'll be 3rd and short.
Late blitz is showing themselves after they're committed to the play. Run blitzes to fill the gaps, and yet Shoemaker still does get positive yardage. Jim, I'd be tempted here. It's 3rd, about 2, a short 2, normal 2. But I'd be thinking on 4th down I might want to go. In that case, 2 power runs is my call.
3rd down and 2, Berwick. 3:50 to go in the game. Marshman under center. Shoemaker's the lone running back. Evan Shoemaker gets the call, tries the right side, does not get the first down. So big decision coming for the Bulldogs. a long, long field goal. Of course, 3 would be as good as 6 here in this situation with that 8-point lead. But it's the loss on the play, so it's 4th and 4 for Berwick. They have all their timeouts. I look for them to call one here, using up as much clock as they can. There's still 16 left on the play clock.
We're not seeing a punter.
4th down and 4. Marshman and Berwick will use that timeout. We'll keep it here with 3:06 now remaining in the game.
Boy, 3 options, and a coach has to make a decision. And probably the fans split in 3 different camps as well. The long field goal can put it out of reach. Although they've done some pressuring of punters, and they've come hard with potential blocks, and the snaps haven't been as accurate as you'd like. I think I'd wipe that one away. You can try to punt it, but again, the snaps have been bouncing to the punter. I think I'd wipe that one away.
I think you go for it.
You go for
and
it.
then put it on. If you don't make it, put it on the defense, which has played pretty well tonight. Wyoming Valley West has to go pretty long way for a touchdown. They have to get the 2-point conversion. So I think the way to go is to go for it here. It would be a 45-yard field goal. Now, Ken Marshman's longest of his career is 38. He's certainly capable from 45, but I'm with you. The snaps have not been there tonight.
And the whole thing, it just hasn't been like clockwork. Now the decision is, what play do you go with? There's been pressure on the quarterback passing. It's a little long for a run.
So here we go. 4th and 4, Berwick from the 28. 3:06 to go. Bulldogs protecting an 8-point lead. Marshman out of the gun, has the snap, fires a quick one, has Beckhorn, breaks the tackle to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and he goes in for a touchdown! Marshman to Beckhorn, 28 yards for the score with 2:59 to play.
Beautiful. Some debate. Prior to the snap, it seemed like Owen Shoemaker may have moved, but he has the ability to stand up, listen to a play. We've seen that type of thing and reset. So they want to argue that a little bit. But the play does get off. Nice snap. Quarterback gets it, turns to his left where Beckhorn is slanting from far left to right. It's a long slant play. He catches it 3 yards into the run and then plants and reverses his field because he knows he needs a little more yardage. Not only does he get the first down, he loses people and gets the touchdown.
Ken Marshman with the extra point attempt. High snap, but the placement by Klinger is good, and the kick is good as well. Time out of the field. 2:59 to go in the game. Berwick 37, Wyoming Valley West 22. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Reds Roofing 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
When the music stops,
that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
2:59 remaining in the game. I could have sworn that kick went through, and the officials indicated such, but on the board it is 36-22. There was a penalty against Wyoming Valley West. That is assessed on the kickoff. Now they put the point up there, so it was good. 37-22, 15-yard penalty on the Spartans. So Marshman will kick from the 45-yard line of the Spartans.
Well, you can put it down ahead of time. Should be his 17th touchback. Only needs to go 45 yards.
And his kick, a low-line drive kick, goes by the person into the end zone, so it will be not a conventional touchback, but it will be one nevertheless. But boy, how big did Jared Marshman and Damon Beckhorn come on that drive? A clinching drive of 9 plays, 60 yards. There was a 3rd and 13 where Marshman hit Beckhorn, who got the first down, kept the drive alive, And then on a 4th and 4 from the 28, Beckhorn gets the pass, not only gets the first down, but gets the touchdown as well.
I was never comfortable with slant passes. I didn't like throwing them. I thought they were very hard to complete with the ball coming one way and the receiver kind of coming into it. Here, 2 times in that drive, they make critical slant passes. And on the last one, Beckhorn catching it and then spinning back against the grain.
Spartans from their 20. Dwyer on a roll right. Fires to the sideline. Comeback attempt by Blasky.
Nope.
Tries to make the diving catch. They rule it incomplete.
Very close to see as it gets into the Berwick sideline. Rolled out. Tried to find the receiver. Blasky's there, but no inbounds position.
2nd and 10. Wyoming Valley West at their own 20-yard line. Berwick 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from ending 3 years of frustration against Wyoming Valley West. Remember, these Berwick seniors have never experienced a win over these Spartans. Trips to the left. Dwyer has the snap, and he's back to throw, and he's looking. He's going to keep the football. Man in pursuit, and gets out of bounds across the way as Ryan Lawbaugh runs him out.
Lawbaugh saw that he was going to break contain. Defensive end Norris went upfield trying to get around the tackle, which opened up that inside. He then sprinted like he was going to run. Lawbaugh, seeing it, comes up out of his pass coverage and keeps that to a short 4 or 5 yard gain.
3rd and 6. Spartans at their own 24-yard line. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Dwyer out of the gun. Going to option, pitches the ball behind the running back. Berwick has it.
Beckhorn.
Racing in for a touchdown is David Beckhorn.
Woo! They wanted to go option to the left as we have a little scrum going out on the field. Quarterback immediately pitched. It was well behind the running back. Reached back with one arm, but the ball's bouncing around. Berwick has people in the area. Beckhorn, the man with the great hands, is able to pick it up in stride and take it right into the end zone to give Berwick its 43rd point of the game.
So the Bulldogs, with 2:35 remaining, build the lead to 43-22. Ken Marshman will be on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Evan Klinger. Jake Lanning's snap is there, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 2:35 remaining. Berwick 44, Wyoming Valley West 22. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Home away from home boarding kennels in Berwick is a dream getaway for your dog when you are away. Home away from home boarding kennels offers on-site grooming, 19 air-conditioned kennels, and a fenced-in area for your dog to play. At Home away from home boarding kennels, there are no restrictions on size or weight of your dog. The only thing they ask is that all dogs have proof of updated vaccines, including kennel cough. Call 570-759-8181 to schedule your dog's dream vacation today. Home away from home boarding kennels is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Ken Marshman will kick off for the Bulldogs. His kick high and deep, and Tyson will field it at the 7-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Tries to bounce it outside, nothing there. Keeps the play alive, and Tegan Wilk will wrap him up at the 22-yard line.
And then Tegan Wilk just got pushed down to the ground, by Tyson, and the flag comes.
You know, the point of this game right now, and the way it's played, and a lot of flags flying, a lot of tempers flying, I think it's important for both teams, players not to get ejected as you sit out the next game.
Well, more so for Berwick. They have a lot more to do with their season. Valley West in frustration. And, with a temperament like that, the lack of discipline there in particular, you can see why they've had some struggles throughout the year. penalties and lack of discipline and plays and assignments and everything. Tegan Wilk played that beautifully. I watched him almost like a basketball defender preventing someone from driving. The receiver wanted to come forward. He took the left away. He took the middle away. He let him go right. He was forced back. And then Tegan Wilk makes the play. He just, controlled his area that well that it frustrated the return man in Darian Tyson.
The ball back at the 11-yard line. That's where the Spartans will put it in play. 2:25 remaining. And Berwick with a lead, 44-22. Give on the play is to Zach Davies. He tries the left side. Will pick up just a couple on the play.
Tegan Wilk coming up very quickly from the secondary to get involved. He's made an awful lot of tackles throughout this game. Valley West has gotten hat on hat. They've been able to immobilize a lot of defenders. Tegan Wilk from back in the secondary is usually able to weave his way on up. Probably the leading tackler in the course of this game.
2nd and 9 for the Spartans from their own 12. Offset I behind Dwyer. Gives the ball to Davies, and he is gang tackled. He will not make the line of scrimmage.
Kevin Klinger in there. Also, big lineman coming up, and Tom Monaco, a big part of that. Linemen have had the challenge. They've gone against a lot of heft. They've seen oversized people across from them. And yet I think by the time they finish and study the film, the coaches are going to be very pleased with their performance.
1:27 left in this one. Spartans 3rd down and 9.
One player's heading off. Now he's heading on. Then they move him from the left side to the right side. You can't have any idea what the play is.
Doesn't matter. They're pitching it to the left to Davies. And he's got some room, and he gets out to about the 18-yard line. Flag down after the play.
Tegan Wilk making the tackle. And again, people just not happy he's able to get on in there. As the running back gets up, there's a little bit of a push back. Hey, like, you shouldn't tackle me. It's a little childish in the reaction, really. And seeing it in there, he didn't do anything. He didn't hit them all.
57 seconds remaining in this one. Earl Harris, the referee, indicates personal foul against the Spartans.
You get to the point, too, where you might do an ejection. You just don't want it to get any uglier. A minute to go, you certainly want to just one-on-one type of things, but you eventually talk to these guys and set a tone as the officials. Hey, guys, settle down or you're out.
Blasky will be back to punt. Jake Blasky back at the goal line.
Only back about 10.
Doc indicated to his defense, we're not coming after this one.
Yeah.
And they are not. And Blasky's kick goes off the side of his foot and goes right to Frank Sheptock.
Oh, get hands, Coach. Get hands. And now he did drop it, and now he's going into, oh, no. Coach is going to make me run type of action.
The Bulldogs will be in the victory formation when they get on the field with 44 seconds remaining in this one. And they are going to break through against the Spartans, winning for the first time since 2013 in this series, as they have it at the 32-yard line.
And I think there's some defensive substitutions in there as well, just to avoid any hot-headed action on the part of Valley West, like that on the part of Coach Pat Keating.
So Marshman will set him down, and he will take a knee. Jared Marshman lost a couple fumbles in this game, but he was terrific throwing the football and made some huge plays. There was a 3rd and 14 conversion. There was a 3rd and 13 conversion, both leading eventually to Berwick touchdowns in this win. And they will not have to run another play, and Berwick has broken through against Wyoming Valley West. The final score, Berwick 44, Wyoming Valley West 22. We'll be back with the scoring, stats, and scores with Ben Willis. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Being in business for over 100 years really means something. It means you've been putting out an excellent product and taking care of your customers so they want to come back. Daylo's Bakery, Berwick falls into that special group of businesses. Oven fresh pizza, bread and rolls. Order extra pizza for a fast dinner when the party arrives. Open 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Visit Daylo's Bakery at 1201 Fries Avenue, Berwick, or call 752-4519.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
Berwick Bulldog football.
Taking a look at the high school football scoreboard this evening. Finals. Southern Columbia over Danville 41-10. Loyalstock over Bloomsburg 39-12. South Williamsport over Central Columbia 28-17. Dallas over Wyoming area 21-14. Donegal over Hazleton 20-14. Crestwood over Hanover 42-7. Selinsgrove over Central Mountain 40-3. Lake Lehman over Holy Redeemer 35-7. Pittston over Nanticoke 46-21, and Valley View over North Pocono 28-21. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazleton 103.5.
Gathered around head coach Frank Sheptock, reflecting on a 44-24 win over Wyoming Valley West. Bulldogs' first win in this series since 2013. They had the lead 7-0 after one quarter, an 18-yard run by Evan Klinger with 3:21 to go in the period, capping a four-play, 80-yard drive. Biggest play, a 45-yard pass completion from Jared Marshman to Joe Norse. Ken Marshman with the extra point, 7-0 was the Berwick lead. However, late in that first quarter, Wyoming Valley West had the ball at the Berwick 5-yard line facing second and goal. Rob Dwyer, their big running quarterback, got to the 1-yard line but fumbled the football. Damon Beckhorn recovered for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs, though, were not able to move it out of their own territory. And into the second quarter, Alex Sharkuski back to punt. His punt was blocked by Brendan Wood of the Spartans. Berwick got on the football in the end zone, though. It was a safety for Wyoming Valley West. Berwick's lead cut to 7-2, 19 seconds into that second quarter. And after a kick return by Sean Makovich of 30 yards following that safety to the Berwick 45-yard line, they put together a 9-play scoring drive. Biggest play, a touchdown pass from Rob Dwyer to Darian Tyson on a 3rd down and 13. The run for the two-point conversion failed, but the Spartans had their first lead at 8-7. That lead lasted 13 seconds. The ensuing kickoff, fielded by Evan Klinger. Up the middle to 7. He raced 93 yards for a Berwick touchdown. Ken Marshman with the extra point, 14-8 Berwick. Later they added to that lead on a 5-play, 39-yard drive, a 21-yard touchdown run by Owen Shoemaker. Biggest play along the way, in addition to that touchdown run, a 3rd and 14 situation, a 15-yard completion, Jared Marshman to Jared Watts. Ken Marshman with the extra point, 21-8 was the Bulldog lead, and they added to that lead with 1:19 to go in the half, capping a 5-play drive on a 32-yard field goal by Ken Marshman, who remains perfect in field goals on the season. And Berwick went in at the break leading 24-8. Looked like it might be a romp when Berwick scored in that third quarter on a 5-play, 42-yard drive. A 1-yard keeper by Jared Marshman. for the score. There was a high snap and a run failed for the 2-point conversion. But Berwick led by a 30-8 score. Wyoming Valley West came back. 7 plays, 79 yards. Zach Davis in from 4 yards out. Big play along the way, a 35-yard run by Rob Dwyer. But still was Berwick leading 30-15 after 3 quarters. But early in the 4th quarter, Beckhorn in the Wildcat, bad snap, went over his head. He tried to pick it up. Instead, he fumbled. Zach Davies recovered for a touchdown for Wyoming Valley West. Jake Gertis kicked the extra point. Berwick's lead was 30-22. Bulldogs needed a drive to put it away, and they got one. 9 plays, 60 yards. They reached the 28-yard line of Wyoming Valley West and faced a 4th and 4. They elected to go for it. Quick slant to Damon Beckhorn, made some great moves, got in for the touchdown from 28 yards away. He also made a catch of 15 yards on a 3rd and 13 along the way. Marshall with the extra point, 37-22 Bulldogs, and then they put it away as the Spartans on their next series fumbled the football. Damon Beckhorn, man of the night for the Bulldogs, picks it up, goes 17 yards for the score. Marshall with the extra point. That came with 2:35 to go. Making the final, Berwick 44, Wyoming Valley West 22. Stats in tonight's game, Andy Lick.
Berwick with 302 yards in total offense. Valley West with 200, so Berwick getting 102 yards more in total offense and making some big plays. For Berwick, 188 yards on the ground on 40 rushes, 114 in the air, as Jared Marshman was 7 of 13 with no interceptions. 114 in the air, 188 on the ground, not a bad split for 302 yards for Berwick. Marshman was under duress a lot throughout the game. Wanted to go with sort of the shotgun, 5-step back type of look and throw, but there's a lot of pressure on him. He did manage to Damon Beckhorn 4 times for 54 yards, including that 28-yard touchdown on the slant pattern where he plants and reverses his field, also on the touchdown on the fumble recovery. Jared Watts had 2 catches, a total of 15 yards, and Joe Norse got a nice skinny post down the middle, 45 yards on that pattern. 7 of 13, 114 yards in the air for quarterback Jared Marshman. In running the ball, Evan Klinger led the way, 114 yards on 12 carries. Turned an ankle or twisted a knee toward the end of the game, limped off the field. We didn't see him come back after that. Berwick then turned to Owen Shoemaker, who had a very strong game. Just 2 carries in the first half, but he finishes with 12 carries in all for 61 yards, and tough yards they were. Looked very strong. Joey Lynn, 2 pops for 4 yards. Damon Beckhorn, 2 carries for 40. The team on 4 occasions lost 22 yards, bad snaps, fumbled plays. It's just some troublesome ones. There was actually a play that went back where they eventually give up the ball and score where you don't mark the yardage on, but they lost about 30 on that. So some troublesome plays along with all the positives. Jared Marshman on the night, 8 carries in all, minus 9 yards, suffering from the sacks. 188 on the ground on 40 carries, 114 in the air for Berwick, 302 yards in total offense. Take a look at the defensive effort by looking at Valley West's offense. Berwick held this team that was averaging 358 yards a game to 200 yards, 165 on the ground and 35 in the air. On the ground, it was basically the quarterback, Rod Dwyer. Physical specimen, good size to him, good speed to him, good at following very big blockers patiently and then turning it on when he needed to. 19 carries in all for the big quarterback, 113 yards to his credit. Sean Mikovic, 9 carries for 31 by my tally. Zach Davis, 6 for 16. The split end, Darian Tyson, 3 carries for 14. The team, 2 carries, minus 9 on problematic plays in there. In all, add the pluses, take away the minuses, and it's 39 carries in all, 165 yards. Might have given the halftime numbers in there. 165 on the ground on 39 is the net. Passing is rather limited, just 8 passes on the game. 1 complete in the first half and 4 attempts, 2 of 4 in the second half, so make it 3 of 8 on the game. No interceptions and just 35 yards. Darian Tyson caught the first half pass, a touchdown of 14 yards. Jake Blasty caught one, and Damon Beckhorn caught him for a loss of a yard. And then Suleiman Ishmael, a 22-yard pass over on the far side. 3 catches for 35 yards, 39 rushes for 165, a net total of 47 plays, 200 yards to a team that normally was getting 358 a game. Berwick's defense looked very good against this very powerful Wyoming Valley West team. Sloppy at times, Jim, impressive at others, but looking good for Berwick.
It is indeed, as they came in with a considerable lead over second-place Dallas in the point standings in District 2 Quad A. Of course, beating a 5A school here tonight just added to that going into next week's senior night game here. For the Spartans, they go to 2-6. They'll be at Crestwood next Friday night. The Bulldogs will be here at Crispin Field with Lake Lehman. The Bulldogs will take a 7-1 record in that game. Lake Lehman winning over Holy Redeemer tonight, so they will be 6-2. That game will kick off at 7 o'clock. We hope you'll join us for the broadcast. It starts, as usual, with the Coach Shep Talk Show at 6. At final again tonight, Berwick 44, Wyoming Valley West 22. Brandy Ulickney and our producer Raven Klein. This is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Classic Rock 103.5.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Hogs Hollow Saloon, Route 93 in Berwick. See you after the game. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Delos Bakery, Frias Avenue in Berwick. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. Anderson Ice Company, keeping you cool all year long. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels, a dream getaway for your dog. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, for all your home improvements. Metro